Snowboard Joe. Whole town talking. Nobody knows the truth, but everybody got a story. Snowboard Joe rolling through the neighborhood slow. Got the ladies giggling everywhere we go. Nobody know why, nobody know how, but they all start whispering the second he around. He ain't say much, he just lean and grin. Then another rumor start circulating again. One girl laughing, two girls blushing, three more telling everybody something. They say Joe got tricks that nobody seen, moving so smooth like a backdoor king. Maybe it's true, maybe it's fake, but the legend getting bigger every coffee break. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. That's what the whole damn town asking for. Everybody talk, but nobody know how the story gets bigger everywhere we go. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Ladies keep laughing when he walks through the door. Truth don't matter once the rumor gets born. Joe's still smiling while the gossip rolls on. Now the fellas all jealous, say it ain't fair. Joe got attention without even trying there. Walking to the party and the room light up. Everybody watching while he fill his cup. One girl winking, another one stare. Somebody swear Joe got mysterious flair. Somebody's cousin got a friend who said Joe left. Everybody's thoughts stuck in their head. Stories get wild when the weekend hits. Half of them facts and the other half myths. Joe don't argue, Joe don't defend. He let imagination do the work for him. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. That's what the whole damn town asking for. Everybody talk, but nobody know how the story gets bigger everywhere we go. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Ladies keep laughing when he walks through the door. Truth don't matter once the rumor gets gone. Joe's still smiling while the gossip rolls on. Is it charm? Is it luck? Is it confidence? Nobody knows, but everybody discuss. Now the rumor's so big, it's a local event. Nobody remembers where the story went. Every month, somebody at another part. Like Joe got a doctorate in breaking hearts. But Joe just chilling, never saying a word. Watching all the theories get increasingly absurd. If half this gossip was actually true, the man would need a whole professional crew. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Whole town chanting when he steps on the floor. Nobody knows what he's really about, but everybody singing when the hook come out. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Legend gets bigger every year and more. Whether it's true or just neighborhood lore, Joe's still the champ of the backdoor war.
I don't have any weed left, but I was I've kind of been into like hookah lately actually. My friend kind of got me into it. It's actually pretty awesome, but I was mixing weed with it too. It'll get you pretty lit.
System. Invisible architecture. Silent instruction set. Running underneath civilization. Culture is the operating system. Quiet in the background while the world keeps spinning. Invisible patterns shaping every instinct. Most people never stop long enough to think. Fashion, language, fear, ambition. Passed down like software with every tradition. Everybody sinking to the same transmission. Calling it freedom while obeying the system. Children inherit unfinished code. Learning what to value before they grow old. What to worship, who to blame. Who deserves comfort, who deserves shame. Invisible lines, invisible walls, invisible pressure shaping us all. Invisible code inside every role, quietly directing the modern soul. Culture OS, running smooth through the mind. Invisible architecture hidden deep behind. Culture OS, every trend, every role, programming the rhythm of the modern soul. Culture OS, installed without consent. Most people never question the environment. Everybody Everybody downloading social permission, building personalities through repetition. Screens glowing soft in the night vision, turning human beings into algorithmic decisions. Everybody chasing digital affection, curated lifestyles for public inspection. Metrics replacing human connection, validation loops become addiction. News cycles weaponize attention, fear becomes profitable intervention. Outrage spreads faster than reflection. Division sold as audience retention. Consume, repeat, consume, repeat. Identity built from the social feed. Like, share, swipe, obey. Another version every day. Culture OS, but run deep in the frame, telling people who to love and who to blame. Culture OS, quietly rewriting truth. Manufacture reality injected through the youth. Culture OS, invisible command. Most people never realize they've been programmed. Cities glowing cold in neon weather. Everybody isolated together. Digital tribes forming forever. But nobody really understands each other. The rich sell dreams, the poor sell time. Everybody monetizing the human mind. Attention markets, dopamine streams. Human beings converted into data machines. But somewhere underneath the noise, there is still an authentic voice. Buried under years of conditioning, waiting underneath the system messaging. Question what you worship, question what you fear. Question every voice you were trained to hear. Question every symbol, every sacred trend. Every artificial conflict they defend. Disconnect long enough to breathe, and you begin to finally see how much of yourself was designed by forces operating behind the mind. Culture writes the defaults. Culture shapes perception. Culture creates normal. Culture edits memory. Culture defines beauty. Culture defines success. Culture defines failure. Culture defines excess. But culture is not.
All right. That was good enough to open up the show. So I stumbled upon this video here, and I might get back into doing some more law and crime. It's a little bit better than body cam as far as making jokes and stuff like that. It's called Mom Used Fake Sleepover to Carry Alleged Poison Plot on Kids. So it's not the most uplifting topic, but let's go and see what compelled her to do this.
For a special night, a sleepover in the car, complete with popcorn. But prosecutors say something far more
Wait a second, a sleepover in the car? That's already a problem.
Sinister was allegedly unfolding in the mind of their mom. And now this mom is accused of taking extreme steps to allegedly poison her 3 children.
Looks like we got 3 patients.
She often spoke about how much she loved being a mom, but investigators say a darker story was hiding in plain sight.
She researched what happens if you sit in exhaust for a period of time.
What police who are investigating.
Looks like she tried to suffocate the kids in the car. The only thing, it was a hybrid. Come on. The only time she wanted carbon emissions, she couldn't get them.
This case just told us about a potential motive. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
We can already guess the motive pretty well. The motive is selfishness, narcissism. That's like 80% probably the reason why, without me even reading about the story or anything. 53 seconds in, it's because she just wants to be a selfish 304.
This is a really, really tough story, especially when you look at the social media that we found for the defendant in this case, a mom who the day before, she allegedly tried to take the lives of her 3 children by poisoning them with carbon monoxide. She shared a post about how someone can feel unwanted in their marriage or relationship by their partner. Chardonnay Marie Benavidez.
Her name is Chardonnay. Hey, honey, what do you want to name the kid? Zinfandel or Chardonnay? Come on now.
She belongs to the streets.
She posted a lot on social media, and she did post about having challenges in her life, the struggle of mental health, the struggle of relationship. She was divorced, which we will talk about here in just a moment. But she also talked a lot about how much she loved her children and how much she loved being.
Because that got views and validation online. That's the only thing. She didn't actually give a shit about them at all. She was going to delete them.
A mom, and it makes what she is accused of doing very difficult to comprehend, especially when you see a video like this one of her and her 3 children at home. She has twin 2-year-olds and a 4-year-old.
I don't know if they're well or not.
All boys. And she often talked about in her post that she was a boy mom and proud of it. Now, the caption of this video was, quote, "The best thing about me is these 3.
Looks like she was really a goy mom.
I'm so lucky to have been chosen to be their mama." She posted that on April 27th.
You're not chosen. You took a hot load between the legs. You're not chosen. And apparently you picked the wrong guys because you're trying to end your marriage now.
Now, before I get to, frankly, the horror of what police say they found on June 6th inside her house, I need you to understand who this mom is and just how it appears no one had any idea that she could turn into, allegedly, an attempted killer and now a defendant facing incredible.
Any bets if you think she was on antidepressants and whatnot? I'm going to put a 1 in there. So 1 means yes. I don't know. What antidepressant do you think she was on? Lexaho, Holoft, Effects Whore, Hozac, Unwellbutrin, Xanax. I don't know. I'm not really sure which one.
Incredibly serious charges. I want you to look at this video from
Adderall.
Late May. This is a montage of her and her 3 children. Again, Chardonnay's divorced. Local media in Oregon, where this took place outside of Portland, is reporting that she became divorced in 2024.
Wait, that's a well hand right there. Uh-oh.
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no.
And she had sole custody of those 3 children.
How can she have sole custody when she has no soul herself? Come on now.
Her husband is responding to what she's now accused of. We'll get to what he had to say in just a moment. Now, when you look at this video, the caption, "Being a mom," it means being strong when you feel weak, giving love, even when you're running on empty,
and deleting your kids,
and waking up each day to keep going for the ones you love most, end quote. Now, it appears that Chardonnay, she was struggling.
She has those big mom titties right there.
And being a single mom to 3 boys.
Well, that's your first problem. Being a single mom to 3 kids is probably crazy difficult. And I wonder if it was 3 different kids from 3 different men.
4 and 2 years old, that is a lot. But again, for as much as it appeared that she may have been struggling, the issues that she may have been having in her personal life, no one appears to have known that something like this could potentially happen. Prosecutors say it was just days after that post that she started to come up with a plan to allegedly take the lives of those 3 boys.
So it's our understanding that she used Google or some type of search engine to research suicide that did not incur pain, per se, something that would allow them to just peacefully fall asleep and never wake up.
I spoke with Lieutenant Trevor Wenning of the Kaiser, Oregon Police Department, who are investigating this case.
Looks like we got 3 patients.
This is dispatch audio per KGW television of the call to respond to Chardonnay's home on June 6th. It was around 8.
Do you think when they called up Chardonnay's home, she's like, hey, everything is just wine here?
20 at night when
Looks like the Chardonnay glass was half empty.
she was the one who called 911, telling police that something had gone terribly wrong.
Do you think she made the kids some type of Kool-Aid like that cult did? She made the kids a little Kool-Aid with some, like, antifreeze and Zinfandel or some shit in it.
And she was allegedly upfront about what had happened. Prosecutors say that Chardonnay's children were going in and out of consciousness when they found them. She allegedly said that she tried to kill her kids and herself, and she decided to do it, allegedly using carbon monoxide.
I don't think she understood the fact that a lot of those types of accidental carbon monoxide poisoning happens when you're intoxicated, you're at the bar, you want to stay warm, you don't want to drive, you don't want to get arrested, or you're camping and it gets too cold, you jump in your car and you have that exhaust leak. I don't know that she put a lot of thought into whether or not the effects of the actual physical exhaust and what that's going to entail versus.
Hey guys, looks like she was just exhausted. Looks like she was just aghast. You can't kill yourself in a Prius. Come on now. You want to know what she tried to use to run the exhaust into her car? A hose. Come on.
The actual odorless, colorless gas that is associated with burning those fossil fuels.
Now, police say when they arrived, they actually couldn't enter the house because of concerns about the carbon monoxide that was potentially in the air. So they had to call the fire department to make entry into this home, to ventilate the home, to make sure it was safe to go inside. And when they got inside, they found those 3 children on the living room floor. Those 3 kids were rushed to the hospital to be treated for CO poisoning. And we are happy to report, and if there's any good news in this story, it is that those 3 boys are okay. Chardonnay, she was also taken to the hospital for treatment, and now she is in the local jail facing.
Just look at this guy. Her name is literally Chardonnay. What the fuck is wrong with our society, guys? We are cooked. We are cooked.
Incredibly serious charges. When police searched her house, they also found an alleged apparatus, and it was some sort of apparatus that connected the exhaust pipe of a.
It was a hose. So, yeah, her name was literally Chardonnay, which is crazy. Her middle name was probably like Zinfandel or something like that. So, as far as carbon monoxide poisoning goes, it is a real thing, guys. You should get a carbon monoxide thing and just have it in your house or something like that. Because I heard a story once, that basically some guy was like, I have a tractor that I keep inside a tractor shed. And it's kind of sealed, so I have to, when I go and turn on the tractor, especially in the winter and shit, I keep kind of the door shut. So I just run in quickly, turn it on, let it run 5-10 minutes, and then go back in and drive it out. But someone told me a story one time of someone who was basically doing that, and the wind kept blowing the carbon monoxide in, and it actually like made them pass out. So carbon monoxide, is a real thing that's actually pretty scary. Not scary, but, shit like that can happen. And I remember hearing a story a couple months back where some girl, the car had an exhaust leak and she like fell asleep in the car because she was tired or something. She actually ended up deleting herself. So I think those are extreme cases. I think you would smell and know when something's wrong. So just, be careful of that.
Vehicle in an attached garage to the inside of the car.
And so she researched that. She jumped on Amazon, purchased some items to connect to her car. And we did find, in fact, an apparatus that was attached to her exhaust pipe that led a tube into the interior of the vehicle, which then, again, she...
What a maniac. You know what her eyes are like?
You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living until he bites you, and those black eyes roll over white.
Vampire.
Told the kids that they were going to have a sleepover, jumped in the car. We're not sure exactly how long they were in the car before she turned it on. And we're not sure how long she stayed in the car after she claims that she started feeling those effects after that first 5 minutes.
The next part of this story, and all of it is so emotional and difficult, but this part really hit me in the heart.
And guys, those kids might be cooked now because no oxygen to the brain and just carbon monoxide. So this is pretty crazy.
So the mother had pre-planned this within the preceding week. They were going to have a what she called a sleepover event or a party in the car. So she and her...
Which is already retarded in and of itself. Are you camping or what are you doing here? Well, we're gonna have a little party in my car, parked at my house in the driveway within the garage. We're not gonna it's if they were like driving to the Grand Canyon or the ocean or something like that. This is really bad. Some of the other moms maybe should have, thought twice about it.
Her 3 boys, 2 were age 2, they're twins, and a 4-year-old boy went into the car.
And why are they? Oh wait, they were her own kids. Never mind. I was gonna say, why is a 2-year-old having a sleepover?
We don't know exactly how long they were in the car before she turned the vehicle system on, but we did find baby wipes and popcorn and items inside the car, which corresponded with her story that she was going to have a sleepover, and that was her way of getting the children into the car initially. So they were initially in the home, then in the car, and then when they started to panic, she brought the children back in and called 911.
Chardonnay allegedly told the children that they were going to sleep in the car, and it was going to be this special night, a sleepover. It included popcorn. And you just...
What a cheap it included popcorn. Okay, great.
Think of those boys. They trusted their mom, but she actually had a plan to allegedly take their lives. They were all allegedly in that vehicle for about 20 minutes, she said. Now, not only is that apparatus connecting the exhaust pipe to the inside of the vehicle an incredibly damning piece of evidence that this was premeditated.
Hey, maybe she just needed to vent a little bit.
Chardonnay allegedly...
Talk about gaslighting.
Also told police that this was not a spur-of-the-moment plan. She made some very shocking admissions, allegedly, to law enforcement.
And there's a statement of a firearm in the gun.
More dispatch audio here from KGW of that response. Chardonnay reportedly said that she had been planning this for roughly a week. So as you see those posts on social media about her life and the challenges in her...
Hey, do you think she put in forethought or whorethought? Come on now.
life and even what she loved about being a mom and the love that she had for her kids.
Letting
for
off
last
little
week, she had a
steam,
plan in place to allegedly do this. She also
Yeah.
allegedly considered multiple options, and police noted that there was a gun that was found in the car where the kids were allegedly exposed to CO. And prosecutors say that Chardonnay said that she was planning to use that gun on herself after her kids passed away if this plan had gone through to the end.
I can't answer the
Looks like she jumped the gun on this one.
why, because that's something that's going to have to come from her ultimately, in her own hindsight and thinking back and reflecting. She did tell officers and investigators that she
Guys, I don't see any reason to even figure out her motive except that she just wanted more time for herself and not have to be responsible for her kids so she could just do what she wanted. But guys, if you've created 3 kids without the same guy, you're a 304. Period. And an irresponsible mom. The mom should have deleted herself and let the kids just do what they wanted. I would actually respect her more.
was not happy with her life and that she didn't want to leave the children to the father because
And let this be a lesson, guys, how these people are posting on social media, all this inspirational stuff, and how she seems happy with her life. They're 2 steps away from deleting themselves and their whole family. There's a lot of people like this now. There's a lot of people on the brink, a lot of people waiting to snap. There's a lot of people from one car issue away, and they're pretty much homeless, and they're just going to say, to hell with everything. I'm just going to go crazy. That might have been the case here.
she was displeased with him, didn't feel that he deserved to have the children, didn't feel that he would take care of them.
Do you hear that? He feel like he didn't deserve to have the children. He wouldn't take care of them. So some idiot judge gave the mom custody of these kids, and look what she went and did. And do you think that judge will get in any trouble? No. Do you think the guy will get in trouble? Probably somehow, yeah.
She didn't give any specifics, but said that he had placed them in dangerous situations in the past, whatever that means. So she
probably not anything at all. She is just saying she's projecting.
She was not happy with his parenting style, and ultimately she wasn't happy with her life and wasn't going to allow him to have the kids. And so, that's what we know at this point. Whether that was her true motive, whatever, we just don't know that. That's a question that's going to have to be asked of her down the road.
But again, those kids survived. And Chardonnay's ex-husband now has the children, and he gave an interview to local Portland television station KOIN. And even though, look, a divorce can be brutal, it's awful.
You know what he said?
You will pay for what you've done, and I pray that God send angels to visit vengeance upon you.
And brutal. It doesn't appear that he anticipated anything like this could happen. This is what he told the TV station. A very blunt comment, quote, "She was such a great bleeping mother."
What a simp! Oh my God. No, she's not a great mother. Wow.
I went to the hospital. They wouldn't let me in. They wouldn't give me no information. I ended up getting detained because I was like, dude.
This is the hellscape that you want to. Do you want to bring in kids into this world? Look at this.
Those are my kids back there. I'm bleeping.
And see how they gave no respect to the guy? They wouldn't give me no information. Dude, it's an official statement. Don't have it be. They wouldn't give me no information. This might be a well.
Going in. He said that Chardonnay had tried to harm herself in the past, but he didn't think that the kids could ever allegedly be involved in something like this. He also said that she did make comments about hurting herself in the past too, but to that he said, quote, "She said it a few times, but we all do." Now we're
not really, no.
We're going to talk more about the case now against Chardonnay.
Do you hear that guy simping like, oh, we all say that we're going to delete our family. We all say that. We're just pulling up
in a
steam.
moment, but there's also another major red flag that this dad apparently discovered when he went to her home. The dad went to Chardonnay's house to get the children clothes, but when he got there, everything was gone, according to KOIN.
Yeah, a lot of the belongings were either sold or given away to family members or friends.
This is all premeditated. Yeah, I have a Discord now. It's It still has kind of been giving me some issues. I just haven't really put much time into the. But it should be its own like Discord channel. So send me invite, and I'm gonna basically make a Discord channel for this show. And I don't know. I just haven't had time to go on Discord. I've been doing a lot of other work and stuff with tree work.
Anticipation of her not needing those physical items in the future. And so, yes, I can confirm that the house was fairly bare.
He said, quote, the house was stripped. She donated everything. Chardonnay is now facing 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Now, again, those kids are okay. Their dad says they don't really understand what's going on. I mean, they're 4 and 2 years old. But this is video of Chardonnay making her first court appearance. She put her head in her hands. She certainly looked distraught as cameras captured her as a defendant for the first
Not too distraught.
time. She stood behind glass. She listened to the judge. And this is part of what the prosecutor told the court per KGW.
Once the kids started to show some distress, she tried to calm them, and when she couldn't calm them, she took them back inside of the house.
Chardonnay is now being held without bond. KGW says that a grand jury will look at the case next week, and she is next due in court on June 17th.
One thing that I don't know that we didn't ask her, and we may not get an opportunity to ask her, we understand that she was seeing counselors for depression. But when people have suicidal thoughts or are in crisis, there is a nationwide number. It's 988. It's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number. It's a free service. You talk to trained counselors. They help you walk through your feelings. They offer emotional support. They try to navigate what you're going through. And, with the whole intent of not hoping to get you to change your mind on that suicidal ideation. And so that's the one thing that I really want to push is that there are services out there. She was seeking and seeing a counselor, but you just never know talking to a person in the moment whether that's going to change their actions.
Join us now to talk about this case, where it could go next, is family law attorney Randy Kessler. It's always great to have you here on Law and Crime, even though I know these stories are just very difficult to talk about. And before we get to the family law side of it, which is the world you live in, and it appears that there was some custody arrangements that were in place, clearly there's some mental health issues going on with this woman. But then at the same time, I think about how allegedly premeditated all of this was. You had this apparatus from the exhaust pipe to the car, and then you also had her allegedly telling police that she had planned it. And maybe search history online will show that she was researching this for about a week. How does the potential mental health issues that she has kind of factor into how this case could be prosecuted, knowing that at this point it appears to be allegedly very premeditated?
Right. I think you have.
Not one person has shamed her or called her a monster. If it's some guy who says something about some high school chick, like, oh, she looks hot, he'll get in more trouble than this.
The elements of murder, right? You have premeditation. She took some steps to plan it. It wasn't spur of the moment. There wasn't anything that provoked her.
She spent her whole week doing the shit, donating clothes, ordering shit from Amazon, getting the popcorn, posting about it, getting the gun ready, learning how to tape the car up. She did a whole bunch of shit.
So certainly the legal basis for proving a murder case are there. So the prosecution has to worry that the
Completely self-obsessed.
defense is going to try to create some sympathy with the jury. There's definitely a mental health component of it. Everyone sees that. It's clear as can be. So proving that she did it when she basically confessed to it, planned it, and the victims are so innocent, those are all the things the state has. What the defense has is she's got to have some mental illness, some mental health issues. I don't think it's a insanity defense, because she certainly seemed to know what she was doing. She planned it. She told the kids that we're going to have a sleepover. So the only thing that she really has going for her is what we have in a lot of the cases that we see, Chris, which is, who can believe that a mom would really do this to her children? But this,
we can, because we're choosing to acknowledge it. I don't like looking at this for fun, but the writing is on the wall. These people are on the brink. In fact, the more they post online, the more insane they are. See, if they post online how happy and fulfilled they are, then they try to go and delete their family. It's disgusting. Not one person has shamed this woman yet. Not one person on the news. This whole thing.
This isn't one where the evidence is unclear or fuzzy or, you can't see what happened. She did this. It's going to sort of be like some similar cases that are in the news where the focus for the defense lawyers is going to be on the sentencing more than on the conviction because she's getting convicted.
Yep. See those eyes?
You know the thing about a shark? He's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living.
Vampire.
The question is, can they get a good plea for her? Can they get her into a treatment facility to avoid jail for a while? What can they do? Because if she goes to court on a trial for murder, it's a guilty.
Yeah, and I think too, I mean, she was the one who called 911 as well, and then the kids were brought to the hospital and they'll be okay. So like there's that part of it. But at the same time, I mean, it already.
Well, one of the only logical things, and this is not an excuse at all, but I don't think this is any type of like demonic possession or something wrong like that. I think it's just that she was just self-obsessed and the kids were taking up too much of her energy. It all had to be about her. She realized that, oh, damn, like these kids are like 4 years old now and I'm just getting started. I'm already exhausted and I'm a bum ass mom. I can't keep a man and I can't keep this facade going up. So I'm just going to just try to cash out. That's what she did. I don't really know why we're trying someone like this. I think they should just kind of delete this person. She's okay with deleting herself and 3 other people. So why not just delete her? I don't know why we even need to, keep feeding her for years and years on end to just rot away in some institution. You can't reform someone like this. Even if you could, you shouldn't because they already kind of, made their bed.
Already got to the point where these kids were in the car. I mean, it's such a tragic situation from the family law component part of it.
See how they're filming all this, like My Wonderful Life and everything. A lot of what you see online is all bullshit, guys.
Kids are now with their.
It doesn't show the inner world. Her inner world was a disaster.
Father. She apparently had. This is just
every picture of her. So this is. I don't know. We need to make sort of a analogy for this. This is, it's not quite like Plato's cave, but guys, this is the modern woman right here. Viewing herself through a phone, taking a picture of her in a mirror, and then viewing herself again. That's like the type of echo chamber. She's in her own narcissistic echo chamber. It's really insane.
According to media reports, are still working on getting the documents. She had sole custody of these kids, and it seemed like there was nothing that made any.
And why doesn't the judge get responsible for that? Oh yeah, because they're never responsible for anything.
Anybody believe that the kids would ever be in danger? She posted about loving the kids.
They couldn't be with the dad, because the dad's a big man and he's dangerous. They need to be with mommy, and mommy needs all of the resources because she is a good, innocent woman.
It's on social media, but the husband did tell a local television station that she had talked about harming herself in the past, never about the kids, though. I don't know.
Well, if you're responsible for taking care of the kids,
know if any of
that's an issue. Wow.
That was reported, but in these types of situations, like what's the bar to revisit a custody arrangement if there is a concern about someone's mental health?
Well, let's go back to the original case. A lot of people are going to.
CPS will always side with the woman. CPS, Child Protective Services, and things like that will almost always side with the woman. They probably will still defend the woman after this. Watch.
The question, why did she get sole custody when she's obviously got something wrong? But, like you said, Chris, even the husband said, the former husband, even he said she was a great mom. He didn't foresee this. So if he didn't think she was a bad mom or had concerns, he was the one who would have been the one to raise it with the court, in their divorce, in their custody.
He probably was saying that. He just has to say this now to cover his own ass.
decision in their custody trial. So it's hard to look back at what the judge might have done wrong or what the court system might have done wrong because nobody alerted the court, and maybe it just wasn't apparent. Going forward,
dream catcher tattoo.
There's no such thing as a slam dunk or a no-brainer absolute, but this is pretty darn close. If he hired me and we walked into court, we'd say, Judge, we have an emergency custody situation. We want to skip to the front of the line because there are innocent children, and that's the most important ward of the state is to take care of children. And the judge would almost
please take care of children. How about you get on top of Epstein stuff? Guys, never forget that's the most protected information in the United States government is Epstein files and stuff. Never forget the people at the top are more worried about protecting that information than anything else. Do not forget that. So these judges probably actually love this shit. They're like, actually, we love this stuff.
Guaranteed, absolutely sign an immediate order saying, until we can have a further hearing on this, because mom's in jail or being detained, Dad, you've got full custody. You make all the decisions. You have all the rights to put them in school, take them to the doctor.
If anything, I almost guarantee you that CPS, Child Protective Services, enables trafficking like more than you would ever believe. Like, guys, we do traffic people with ICE and a lot of other stuff like that. Like, our government is as dirty as anyone else's, if not more. So we have to keep that in mind. Since the Epstein files haven't been in the news much, people just think they're going to go away. Hey, don't worry about the Epstein files. Why don't you watch a UFC fight at the Dome of the White House? Why don't you go do some more bread and circuses bullshit? You see the guy jump the dirt bike at the White House? That's awesome. Well, how come no one's gone to jail for anything? Because people forget about it. People only have about a 2-week memory. 2 weeks of memory. You ask them what happened 3 weeks ago, they're cooked.
He's going to get immediate custody. They were released to him, which is just a logistical thing. Who gets to take the children away from, the hospital? He did that. That's like a temporary thing. And then he will get official recognition by the court. It's not a very high bar when someone's in jail, especially when they're in jail for this. Even if she was in jail for something she didn't do, like shoplifting, somebody's got to watch the kids.
Oh, I didn't know that UFC thing was tonight. I'm not going to watch that. I don't really watch a lot of UFC and stuff. I don't really watch much sports and things like that anymore. I don't know. I don't really get the high off of it that other people do, but probably that UFC thing is going to have a whole bunch of symbolism and shit like that. Yeah, people like to watch shit like that, and I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if I fully believe this, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a thing where like Hunter Biden is going to fight like two of the Trump brothers or something like that. It's crazy. Like I think we should just go back to Roman times and put like Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth in there with a tiger and shit and just let it ride. I'll pay to see that, I guess. Yeah, this UFC thing is at the White House, that dome. That's what I'm saying. They're using that to be like, hey, why don't you watch these same UFC people beat the piss out of each other and don't worry about the Epstein Island. Don't worry about it. Don't worry your little head about all the trafficking, all the demonic worshiping, all the money that they steal from you on a daily basis. Don't worry about that. Watch the UFC. On pay-per-view, of course. Watch the UFC. It's crazy. Being an intentional mother or father to young children is a ton of work. Definitely one of the hardest things I've ever done. Yeah. It's very difficult. But she also can't be posting on, maybe she spent less time posting and more time just being a mom. This wouldn't have happened.
Next in line is the natural parent. That's just the way our legal system works.
Had there been a report, they get divorced, I think it was in 2024.
So just one other thing, because I might actually look at some more Epstein stuff tonight. A lot of these live streams are not really getting monetized anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. But guess remember when Epstein got his quote sweetheart deal, where he's like, "Oh, I'm locked up for about 2 years, but I get to leave all day to go to work, and I basically just sleep in a jail cell at night." Who was in charge then? Pam Bondi, same woman who's in the AG now. Pam Bondi was the AG during that time, where the judge gave the guy a pedophile demon. They gave him off. He probably is still alive. It gets so crazy. I stopped. Even if he is still alive or isn't alive, the justice is not being, handled. I used to think that he was alive the whole time, but it's hard to know. It's crazy. With sports betting, they're always going to make sure. Yeah, exactly. So that's another thing they want you to do is just gamble your ass off. Just gamble. Just gamble or play some retarded phone game like Angry Birds, which that probably is some type of gambling too.
And then let's just say he had brought to the court, and this is more like a hypothetical, but like she has sole custody and he raises a concern about someone's mental health.
Do you think Pam also went after George Zimmerman as well? Probably. I think that was around 08 or so. Each of those events are around 08 through 010, somewhere around there. So yeah, Pam Bondi is a demon, kind of old Yacht Rock 304 from Florida. Pam Bondi's just watching this all go on. A ton of them are watching it all go on. It's very, very, very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And they just want you to have the inertia to forget about it. Is the sick part. And most people will forget about it. They're like, I'm sure someone's taking care of it.
Obviously, there are, contentious divorces where someone may claim something that isn't true. And then, the court has to take into, consideration that someone may just have an axe to grind with somebody. But in a case like this, where you have someone who apparently in the past talked about harming themselves, like how does the court typically approach that after a custody arrangement's been made, but before something that I don't think anybody could have foreseen?
Wait, this is Florida too with these people? God damn it. Everything's Florida. I know that Pam Bondi and stuff, when Epstein got out, that was Florida. But I don't know if this particular incident that we're covering right now is Florida. It probably is.
Happening. Like,
I'm sorry, Florida. I feel like every video I'm showing is making Florida look bad, but Florida has a lot of people, guys, and they're crazy because it's just so friggin' hot there. So you got to get fucked up to deal with it.
Like this case, like how does the court deal with that if the person who didn't have custody says, well, I think this person has some mental health issues?
Those are some of the most difficult cases for us divorce lawyers and custody lawyers because the courts are overwhelmed with problems that have already happened, like this one, where somebody's done something that's harmed a child. And
Pam Bondi was the AG when Jeffrey Epstein got his sweetheart deal and stuff like that. So she already, hey, she was already playing ball. Get it? That's why she was playing ball. That's why they're doing the ball room. Because that's what they're doing there, guys. I'm not kidding you. There's a lot. The occult underlines everything, or the esoteric underlines everything, and it's obscure, it's weird, it's hard to figure out, but that's like one of the highest things. That's their god. So you remember how I say things are often inverted? So the first ballroom thing that they did, they invited every like congressman, senator, tech demon type, and they had, we're holding 999 guests in the ballroom. Let me type this out. That really equals, if you flip it, That equals 666. They didn't pick 999 for any other reason besides that. Period.
Waiting in line for their day in court. And for me to say, Judge, my client wants to jump in front of the line because they're worried that something will happen to the children, it's just hard because the courts are overwhelmed. But it does happen. If people have money or if the government has resources, you can appoint a psychologist. You know, we have a case that's going to trial in a few months where the psychologist recommended that one parent not have custody and the other parent be primarily in charge. And then that parent refuses to pay for the psychologist. So we got to find money to get the psychologist to come to court. A whole bunch of logistical problems. And those are in cases where there's money and resources to get a private psychologist to weigh in. And
in this girl right here, we know what she was like.
Liberal, 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 happy fun, la la la, human smuggling, fentanyl deaths, forced government euthanasia, chopping up children's genitals, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Even they're not perfect, but to answer your question succinctly,
she just didn't want to get her hands dirty.
It's very, very hard to convince a judge to make a change preemptively because, you know, someone who used to be married to her is now saying she's crazy and she's going to harm the children because, you know, nobody really thinks that their ex is perfectly normal.
No, and I'm sure you even see that in cases that could be considered like an amicable, divorce. There's obviously still emotion on all sides of it. I think about the fact that she also like just mitigating factors as this goes forward. And when it comes to like plea negotiations, if it even gets there, and I know that's like we're a long ways away from that point, but she was the one who called 911. She realized that maybe what she was doing was wrong. But at the same time, these kids had to go to the hospital for CO poisoning, according to police. She's the one who had this premeditated, all these thoughts allegedly about having to go with this. For a week, she had this plan in place that it was going to go, and she almost went through with it. She could have gone through with it, and it ends up being a story where we're talking about, a horrific triple, if not quadruple, homicide or murder-suicide situation. Like, how far does the fact that she was the one that called 911 potentially go in plea negotiations?
It might help with plea negotiations. It shows some remorse, some awareness. She's not a horrible, horrible, horrible person like some people who has no remorse that does this. But it doesn't get her very far. It
doesn't matter almost. It's irrelevant.
Get her the possibility of parole. May get her some treatment. What I think is interesting to me about that is then you got to think about post-conviction on the civil side. And again, that's what I do a lot of is custody. Do the children ever get to see their mother? And there's this tension on one hand. She did this. She forfeited the right to be involved in their lives. But that's their mother. And they're going to find some redeeming qualities. And they're going to grow up to be adults and say, half of me is her DNA. And there's something I need to know her. I need to know who she was. And do we deprive them of knowing anything about her? So I think on the civil side, there's going to be some sort of custodial arrangement that allows her to have parenting time. Probably what the judge will do on the civil side is to say, it's up to dad. If dad talks to psychologists and decides it's good for the children to see their mom, he can bring them to visit them under supervised jailhouse conditions or however, or by FaceTime. But on the criminal side, her acknowledge.
How about you wait till they're old enough to decide themselves, you jerk offs? We don't need your 4-year-old visiting the mom who just tried to delete them. I don't think that needs to happen. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not licensed for all this, but I don't think that needs to happen. I think we're going to be just fine.
That she did wrong, it gets the conviction. It may go to sentencing, but it doesn't get her off the hook. It doesn't.
I think dad might be a nug. I'm not sure.
Lower the crime. It doesn't lower the charge. It's still murder, attempted murder.
And in cases, even cases where, and this is a more general question, like someone's accused of a violent crime like this one, on the civil side, have you seen where someone would be, even with their significant other or former significant other in prison, where they're required by the court to bring kids to visit that person who's in prison?
Yeah. In fact, there was a case, I think it was either Kentucky or Kansas years ago that we talk about a lot, where the child was a product of a rape, right? The father raped the mother. The father went to jail for the rape of the mother. And the father later on was entitled to visitation. every case is unique. I don't know the details of it. Maybe mother was also had a whole bunch of issues, and the child, or maybe it was the child's request to visit and to get to know her father. I'm sure it wasn't a loving, happy relationship, but yes, there's this tension in the law between, punishment and protecting children from abusers and the right of children to know their parents, to be, involved with their legitimate parents, especially if there's no one else to step in. If there's somebody, a new spouse that will come in and adopt the children and take their place, that's one thing. But if children have,
So, Math Man, this woman here, she actually didn't successfully unalive them. She was saying that she was going to have like a sleepover in her car, and she basically took like a hose from her exhaust and put it back into the car, and she planned on deleting her 3 kids and herself, but she kind of like backed out and called 911. She was going to maybe shoot herself at the end, so she didn't. Thank God she didn't successfully delete them, but she had planned on it, and it was very much premeditated and everything like that.
One parent that's not in jail, but still not a great situation, and another parent, what's best for those children? I mean, how do you know what's best for a child? Is it best for a child not to ever know who their parent was, or is it best for a child to actually see and learn and understand? And I'm sure she has some love for the children. It sounds like from Dad, she was a good mom and loved the children, and she had a snap, she had a break. And I'm sure through the children's lens, they're going to want to believe this was a one-off, this was a weird episode, there was a psychological issue, and this isn't really who she is. And they're going to want to believe.
No, it is who she is. It's past it now. This is her defining moment. See how when it's a woman, they don't really like give the blame. They don't just want to say she's sick, she's evil. No one has said that. They're trying to say, well, maybe she can still see the kids now and then. That's fine.
And maybe that's healthy for them to believe that as they grow up and become members of society. That's a whole, incredible psychology course that I'm sure psychologists are still, developing and wrestling with. How do you help kids get through something like this? Better to know the abuser or not? And I don't know where I come down on it.
Yeah.
It is hard to say. I can't say.
I mean, I feel like there's so many cases that we've talked about. And unfortunately, when we speak, it's, family law like type situations and contentious marriages or divorces that have been going on. And like, I feel like there's just a lot of times where like, you just wonder, like, how could this have been prevented? But like in some ways.
Hey guys, sounds like she was really running on fumes there.
It's like if there were no red flags, like they're kind of sitting there after the fact. And maybe there's red flags after the fact, but in the moment, I don't think anybody was anticipating that this woman would be in this situation, accused of what she's accused of. Randy Kessler, family law attorney.
Like we see it, right? We all think that moms, more than dads, would never do something like this. So there's this inherent bias that you don't see the red flags. But yes, Chris, thank you for having me. This is another tough one.
No, it's a good point. I'm actually happy you brought that up because, you go through, this woman's Facebook page, and social media only tells like part of the story, but like this is a woman who is dedicated to her kids, it appeared. Right. And, there's no way, even through like a post, if she was talking about a relationship that went sour, that you would ever think that it would get to the point where the kids are in a car and she's allegedly trying to take their lives with CO poisoning. And I think, that's hard. Do you see that bias? And I know like there's, bias is tough. Like, the idea of, and we've seen a lot of cases. There's one in Massachusetts that we talked about that I'm covering with a mom who's going through a custody dispute and allegedly took her children's lives, tried to take her own life.
This is happening quite a bit, guys. We've seen a few times. There's one in New Hampshire that did it. In fact, maybe we'll go into that story next. There's a woman in New Hampshire who tried to delete her whole family and stuff like that. And we found out she was stealing $200K at work, basically. Mother's Day cards from the kid. Roses are red, violets are blue. Thank God you lack follow through. Yeah.
But do you see like a bias sometimes, like between whether it's the mom or the dad in these situations? I'm happy you brought that up.
Yes, it's evaporated. It's gone away a lot. I mean, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when I started practicing, when I learned in law school, there was a tender years presumption that they presumed the mom was better for the children. Now, there are a lot of working moms sitting as judges that aren't the primary caregivers, so they understand that sometimes it's dads. So it's evolved a lot. But there's still, I talked to a politician and a high-ranking lobbyist yesterday about a bill they want to bring up in Georgia. There should be a presumption that everyone's equal and moms and dads are equal, and that's not even the official law. It's supposed to be gender neutral in most states, but we've got our biases, and I think a lot of people still think that in general, moms should be better, everything being equal. And really, the only opinion that matters is whoever happens to be the judge that day. And we don't know what judges think until we see them on the bench trying our case, and then they've already made the decision. So, shortly to answer your question, yes, I see the bias, but I see it a lot less today than I saw it 30, 40 years ago. There are a lot of great dads out there. There are a lot of great. I also think this, Chris, you might find interesting. Cases where men get custody more often have to go to trial, because I just think it's harder in general for a woman to agree not to have custody. There's a stigma. She's got to explain to her friends or family, why did she agree that she would be the secondary parent, even though it might be the best thing for the children. I think it's just still hard in today's world for mom to acknowledge that it's better for the children to live primarily with their father. So that I do see that sort of a problem inherent in this. So, interesting stuff, interesting issues that, unfortunately, it's why I'm going to be in business, I think, for a while.
Yeah, no. And you just think of, a case like this, and it's just, the children are so young, 4, and then twins that are 2 years old. Just an incredibly tragic situation. Randy Kessler, family law attorney. Thanks as always for being with us on Law and Crime. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Chardonnay Benavidez will next be in court June 17th, facing those 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah, no one really shamed her or anything like that. It's crazy. Kind of the best we can do is just expose the double standard, not tolerate the shit that they do, stuff like that. We have a mental health crisis in this country. We just don't really want to admit it, really, I guess. No one wants to, look under the bed and see the monster under the bed. And it's just, sometimes what happens. This is one that also looks interesting.
I love you, Dada.
A mother.
This one's called Foster Mom Had Sex with Teen Boys.
A teacher, a foster.
Force a teacher every goddamn time. Teachers are scum now. They really are scum.
Parent who spoke about the importance of adoption is now accused of a sickening
Another nose ring. The nose ring theory is holding up.
crime.
I totally had a great, he's such a relationship kid. I totally connected with him.
This 35-year-old is now facing 2 counts of incest for what she allegedly did to 2 children she adopted. I'll tell you what police say.
Wow, look at this. Oftentimes, they always say the guy is going to do this, but they never want to admit the woman will do it.
She reportedly...
Hey, she had a foster whore kid. Do you think she fostered any accountability or responsibility?
admitted to in court. We're On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Hey guys, real quick before we get into this very disturbing story from the Pacific Northwest.
Shut
like
up.
Anyone.
Oh, Pacific Northwest, not Florida.
And often, as we see in these stories, that predators...
The last one was from Washington or something too.
Can be hiding in plain sight. Now, what we're talking about here, this story out of Washington State, these are allegations. And the teacher we're talking about is innocent until proven guilty. But I want to lay out what authorities in Washington State say about 35-year-old Amber Swain. Now, the 35-year-old, as you see her here, this is a picture of Amber on Facebook. She is a mom. And not only did she take care of young people at home, she was in charge of taking care of young people as a professional. She was a teacher in Newport, Washington, in the public school district there. Now, Newport, it's a small town outside of Spokane. And this is her picture, Amber Swain, from the local school district. Now, this case, what she is facing, these allegations, they're incredibly disturbing because Swain is accused of incest. Now, she is someone who presented herself as a person who truly believed in taking care of others, especially young people. Now, before we get to the details that are being laid out in court,
she's just grooming them. But if it's a guy, it's way worse somehow.
to talk more about how we got to this point and what we know about Amber Swain, because her background is one you would not expect in a story like this.
No, we would expect her to be a teacher. That's like the first thing that I would expect.
So we became foster parents that following August, so the year after he was in my class.
This is a video.
And she's probably married too.
That we found on YouTube of Swain talking about how she became a foster parent. She spoke on a podcast. Swain says that in her first year of teaching at the elementary school level, she took to a young boy in her third grade class.
In third grade. Oh my God.
She belongs to the streets.
She belongs to the gutter. Look at that. Third grade, guys. Can you imagine a guy saying that?
And she said the boy was dealing with a tough situation at home. So she and her husband decided to adopt this.
What a simp-ass husband.
This boy, become his foster parents. It's the type of thing, I mean, you think back to like the movie Matilda. I mean, it's the type of storybook that you often feel good about when you hear of a teacher taking to someone who may be in a tough situation.
So a lot of times these people, the predators, they just like charities, same thing as a charity, or perhaps certain church organizations and whatnot. They use the guise of helping somebody weak, but it's really just taking advantage of someone who's already weak and vulnerable, so they're easier target. That's like what half the stuff is. So they get the social credit of helping, but they can just manipulate someone who's very weak, vulnerable, doesn't have much resources and everything. That's what they do. And I don't know, I have a feeling this guy is just going to simp harder for her.
Situation, and that's what appeared that this was with Amber Swain. Swain says that she later adopted this boy's younger brother.
See those eyes again?
You know the thing about a shark
as well.
Lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living until he bites you, and those black eyes roll over white.
Vampire.
I mean, it seems like this woman is an angel, right? In total, Swain and her husband say that they adopted 3 boys. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Swain is now separated from her husband. Swain worked not only just as a teacher, but she was the executive director for a nonprofit in Spokane.
Yep, there you go. What I just say, charities. Guys, I'll actually do a whole show on it. So when you have a charity, charities are often parasitic in nature. Look at the KARS Cars for Kids, that one. That was all that money was going to Small Hats in New Jersey. All of it. Charities are a front. Again, it's an inversion. So when a charity is supposed to be helping people and be some of the most selfless people who are good and everything like that, they're volunteering. No. They're working for their own aims. If you want to see someone who's helping, go to a soup kitchen or something like that, and just watch someone who's working, not looking to get any credit for it. They're just helping do shit. The only way that you get the satisfaction of let me maybe pitch it to you another way. The only way that one can get satisfaction from helping people is if you're selfless. That's it. If you're selfish, You are helping people for the vanity of it, for the image of it, for the social credit of it, for the pictures of it, for the communal value of it, or the perceived value of it.
that supported children and caretakers.
It's also, too, a whole bunch of other people involved never probably said anything. See, they never said anything. They never called it out. They were like, well, she couldn't possibly be doing this. She's in a charity or something like that. Anyone that you know that's doing a charity, do a double take on them. So here's another thing with charities, or at least in the United States. Charity, you only have to give 10%. So let's say someone gives me $100,000 donation for my charity that, I don't know, gives people inflatable paddle boards because I think it's a good idea. So all they have to do is buy $10,000 in inflatable paddle boards and give those away. I can keep the rest. And on paper, you can legally do that. So that's what a ton of these charities are. They're just ways to launder money, do weird shit like that, give these people a fake job. We're like I'm the director of paddleboard distributing. This is a very important job. I need $250,000 per year. To what? Distribute $10,000 worth of inflatable paddle boards. That is what most of all this shit is. A ton of it. So anytime anyone asks you to go to give something to a charity, even if it's just at a 7-Eleven, it's saying, oh, this is going to veterans and dogs and cats and shit. That gets nigged too. It's sinister. If you want to help somebody, give your time or give money to somebody directly. That's you don't need other people clipping your coin, making a toll booth out of it all the time. So again, give money directly. You give it to this charity, the Cash App, Snowboard Joe charity. I will spend it the right way.
In the foster care system. Now, it's unclear when she left that organization, but her name has been scrubbed from their website. Now, Amber Swain appears to be the kind-hearted person, a selfless individual who you...
Hey, it's not Swain. It's Swine.
...would want to take a child in who's in a tough situation. But now she's facing these shocking allegations of sexual abuse, and let's get into that part of this story. Now, the local sheriff says that they were contacted by the Washington State Department of...
Yeah, that nose ring again.
Children, Youth, and Families in May about Amber Swain. Now, there were concerns back then about possible sexual abuse of 2 teenagers. The Spokesman newspaper says in court a probable cause affidavit was read. And in that document, Swain was accused of sexually abusing 2 teenagers in her care. And the abuse is alleged to have gone on for months and happened as...
Yeah, after this one, I want to cover some charities. Charities are a huge scam. That breast cancer one is a charity with the as a scam with the pink ribbons and stuff. It's actually sinister. And I keep harping on this. A ton of these NGOs, charities, nonprofits, it's all women running it, and they do a shit job, overpaid, they're inefficient, they don't care. Their heart might be in the right place, but their delivery is dog shit. They don't know how to run anything. So someone who hasn't run a business shouldn't be running a charity. Everyone needs to run a business. Run a business. So I don't care if you're already working at a company full-time, start a side business. We need more people who know how to run. You need to know how to run a business before you can run a charity. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to deal with the problems and all the pain in the ass things. Like if you have your own business, you're working for free a lot of the time. Like today I worked not at a guy's house, but I had to work on my own equipment because something broke. So it's the whole day and I'm paying a guy, you know, that was supposed to work for me, that I still got to pay him. You have to still pay these people. So, a lot of these people who are running these charities, it's just a complete fraud. And when it's a fraud, it's also a broad.
Recently as 2 days before one of the teens was interviewed by authorities back in May. The investigation reportedly started after law enforcement saw text messages.
She does look kind of demonic here. This is actually kind of a scary picture. See how she just seems very still, lifeless, and not like there's something wrong with her.
Between Swain and one of the victims. Now, the alleged victims, they are now 17 years old and 18 years old. So this is key when you talk about the alleged timeline of when Swain is accused of committing these crimes. According to a forensic interview, and this is according to reporting from KREM television out in the Pacific Northwest, one of the boys allegedly told police that Swain had sex with him in December of last year, and that would have been before he turned the age of 18. Now, I'll tell you how Swain reportedly responded to that when she was confronted with that allegation in just a moment.
You know how she was responding to it? She's like, "Oh yeah, that happened."
Shake and do it to your leg, shake and do it to your leg. Down, down, down. Do it to your leg, shake and do it.
That was her memory of it.
The TV station says that the teen allegedly told authorities that he and Swain had sex, quote, plenty of times after that. That includes the time just before he gave a forensic interview, just 2
Cheating on the husband. This is your modern woman here, guys.
days, according to authorities.
I actually think that married women probably cheat the most, actually, and just don't give a shit.
Before he spoke to them. So let's talk about what Amber had to say when she was confronted by law enforcement with these incredibly disturbing allegations. Now, initially, she reportedly denied having sex with this teenager, but then she shockingly, allegedly admitted that she did have sex with that teen. But she says it happened in February, and that is important because when it comes to the timeline in this
it was just after he turned 18.
Case, that boy, if they had sex in February, he would have been 18. That's obviously,
yeah, of course, that's what she said.
A different story, though, than the one that he gave to authorities about the alleged sexual relationship they had starting in December when he was 17 years old. Now, Swain also reportedly said this to authorities, quote, I could have my timeline messed up. Swain is accused of sex, though not just with...
Wait, did the kid say that or the woman?
Have my timeline messed up. Boy, if they had sex in February, he would have been 18. That's obviously a different story, though, than the one that he gave to authorities about the alleged sexual relationship they had starting in December when he was 17 years old. Now, Swain also...
Either way, it's still wrong, immoral, and wretched on so many levels.
Reportedly said this to authorities, quote, I could have my timeline messed up. Swain is accused of sex, though not just with one of the foster children that she adopted. She's accused of sexual contact with two of the foster children.
Of course she is.
That she adopted. And here's what KREM reported from that court hearing. The second teenager told police that he allegedly touched Swain more than once. He said the touching continued for several minutes before Swain stopped it from going any further. And Swain allegedly told police a similar story, that she had been touched, but she pushed it away. It's important to note that this woman is 35 years old. She is a teacher. She is a foster parent. She knows what is okay and what isn't okay. And the fact that it allegedly went on for several minutes and then she allegedly pushed it away, it's not an excuse. Now, this is video from Amber Swain's first court appearance where the judge found probable cause for 3 charges: first-degree incest, second-degree incest, and sexual contact with a minor. Swain allegedly may have reached out to one of the alleged victims as well from jail, and prosecutors asked for a no-contact order between Swain and the boys or any other minor. Local papers say Swain is not allowed to leave the state of Washington. She was held on a $20,000 bond, and prosecutors did go into this asking for a...
She only had to pay $2,000. How much you want to bet the husband paid the $2,000 and didn't want to believe it?
$50,000 bond. Now, Swain,
okay, $5,000 now,
could be sentenced to 20 years in prison and face $50,000 in fines if she's found guilty of these 3 charges that she faces. Now, as for her job as a teacher, which she has had for years, she is currently on administrative leave, and the Newport School District told KREM, quote, "While we cannot say much at this time, we unequivocally and firmly state that we take these matters very seriously. We are working closely with law enforcement as they continue..."
Blah, 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 blah. We can't tell you anything. It's an ongoing investigation, and we work very closely with law enforcement and local and state agencies. Okay, we get it.
Their investigation into this matter. Join us now to talk more about this case and where it could go from here is former sex crimes prosecutor Dan Shore. Always great to have you on Law and Crime. I mean, these cases are just so disturbing and disheartening as well, to be honest. Just as you read through it, what are some of the unique parts of this story when you think of a lot of the cases, unfortunately, we talk about like this?
You know, a lot of times we talk about the cases, we talk about how there's a pattern here that we see in a lot of cases, such as where there's a teacher abusing their power to have sexual interactions with someone. But I can tell you, in over 25 years, I've handled hundreds and hundreds of sexual misconduct cases. Hardly ever do we have cases involving incest. Do we have, this is someone who, I mean, we certainly, people unfortunately have allegations of sexual misconduct with children and people they've adopted. So it's not that it never happens. Unfortunately, it does happen. But this is an unusual case where there's 2 teenage boys that were in foster care, they were foster children. And the allegation is that she had sexual interactions with both of them. We don't see those types of allegations that often, but they're very concerning, and it's important to take that seriously.
Yeah, and I think...
I'm going to pause it for a minute. I think we pretty much know she's guilty. She's cooked. She'll probably get about 13 years. Something weak like that. I do want to go to this though. This is another example of the charity archetype.
2022, deputies in Palm Coast, Florida, approached a woman and 2 young boys standing in the median of a busy intersection, collecting donations for a tragic family funeral. The woman claimed her 20-year-old niece had just died in a horrific car crash overseas, but as the deputy began to ask questions, she quickly recognized her from a previous encounter, and she knew exactly what she was really up to.
Yep, this is her grift. This is her hustle. There's a lot of people, guys, that stand near these medians and stuff like that say, we'll work, give me food, give me money like that, and they do actually pretty well. I've actually personally seen it where I saw one guy. I've seen it a few times, and I've seen them go get into a Mercedes car and all this stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Hello. How are you?
Again, guys, instead of providing value in the community, she just wants to be a parasite. She's not hot enough to be a hoe in the corner, so she has to use her daughter's fake death.
So I understand what you're doing, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. However, we cannot have you guys walking in the middle of the roadway. Okay, it's interfering with the flow of traffic. It risks you getting hurt or one of them getting hurt and someone else getting into a crash. Okay, so I understand. I don't know if you have any. Did you have?
Jesus, this is loud. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. These buses and stuff. Seagroup writes in, I remember back in the 80s or 90s, there was a guy who was well off, who was teaching a learning annex how to panhandle. Wow.
Have any permits? You have to also have a permit to solicit. You what? I don't have these benefits. You don't have a permit? Okay. So yeah, that's another thing that you have to do. You have to make sure that you're pulling the right permits too, okay? Again, I'm sorry that you're going through this. I'm not trying to be inhumane or discredit what you're going through at all. I understand you're probably going through a lot of pain, but you can't be out here walking in the middle.
Guys, if you're going through pain, I don't think I would be out on the street corner like this doing this shit. I would keep to myself. I would shut up. Like I really don't get these people. They're just really crazy.
The roadway. Okay. How many of you are out here? 4. Okay. Do you have a way of calling them so they can all come here so I can tell them the same thing? Okay.
Fake crying. See how she's fake crying?
Well, I need them to come over here too because I'm watching him in the middle of the road too.
And this is going to be a Tylenol brain individual. This cop is going to have to tell her 18 times, okay, we'll call them and get them over here, and she's just not going to do it or just play dumb.
When did this happen? Where?
France, Europe.
Where?
Europe, France.
Was that your daughter? Your niece? Was she like vacationing over there? Was she living over there?
Living.
Oh. Hello. Do you have someone else over there on that side?
No, but
I don't know where they went. I saw him, but I don't know where he went. Were you guys over here previously on the other side of the parkway? No?
This day.
Just today?
Yeah.
Okay. So, is this your mom? Okay. So what I was telling her is, I'm sorry what happened to your family. It's very tragic. I'm sorry that you're going through that. However, we can't have you guys walking in traffic, okay? Someone's not paying attention. I mean, you almost got hit when the lady pulled up when he was crossing the road. You know? People aren't paying attention. It's a busy intersection. We can't risk you guys getting hurt, getting killed possibly in a crash, or someone else getting in a crash, okay? So another thing is, too, you got to have a permit if you're going to be out here as well. And again, you cannot interfere with the flow of traffic, okay? So I wish you guys the best of luck, okay? I'm sorry that your family's going through this. If you can, just relay the information to the other guy. I don't know where he went, but please be careful. Please be safe.
So another way to spot these people too, I don't know what the fuck the problem is with any protester anywhere you go. They have the shittiest sign imaginable. It's like, God, if you're gonna protest the whole day or just protest in general, make a good sign. Spend $20. I don't know, get some plywood or some shit. It's always like on the back of a shitty pizza box with a magic marker that some like drunkard wrote up on the way to go there. Maybe I'll even be able to do this tomorrow. They did it yesterday, but in my downtown where I live, there's a group of protesters that's been going every weekend. And I noticed there's a couple ones that are organizers, and they literally just pass out signs. So no one's even making their own sign to do these No Kings thing. It's like, how about you make your own sign and have your own point? But that's part of these Tylenol brain NPC type people. These people were probably walking across the intersection and messing the whole thing up. Tylenol brain people are a nightmare for logistics because it's just, again, it's a redundancy factor. So what are these people out here doing? Probably collecting $60 in change and taking, can we have your useless pennies in my change cup? But they probably mess up the traffic big time.
Okay. Do you guys have any ID with you?
No ID.
No? When did you said your niece? What's her name?
Maria.
See what I'm saying? How they have like shit taped up like this? It's just like, I don't know. It's just a bit strange.
Maria? Okay. And when did she pass?
3 days ago.
3 days ago? Okay. So in September, did you have another niece named Maria that passed?
Huh?
You're busted.
You and your 2 sons were on the other side doing the same thing, collecting money for a funeral.
Me?
Yes. Your name and your
Me, I had Tylenol brain.
date of birth that you gave me.
I had Tylenol. See, this is another thing. Tylenol brain people don't really know how to lie, so they just kind of say nothing, or they don't play dumb. They play numb.
Me? Yeah.
3 days ago it's happened.
No.
Nothing.
No. So what funeral were you trying to save money or collect money for?
Yeah, and this is another thing too, which I hate to say this, but it has a lot of truth. No good deed goes unpunished. So somebody who gave, put in $20 into her cup here or something like that, said, "Hey, I'm sorry for your loss. I've also lost a daughter," or something like that. So here's $20. It's just gonna go to bullshit. It's gonna go to like Corona Lights, and like some shit like that.
In September.
No,
You're lying to me.
No.
I don't like being lied to.
I don't like it.
Ma'am.
I swear.
And the fact that
We have videos. Your face is on
Me,
any video
I
we do.
recognize you from last time I talked to you and your two sons.
in Jacksonville,
Here,
here.
on the other side. Yes.
No, I swear.
You swear?
Yeah.
You're gonna swear to God? Really?
She has no God.
That's a shame. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It's the
You should be
first
ashamed of
time.
yourself trying to do this in front of your two kids.
It's first time.
No, it's not. I am telling you, I recognize you from last time I talked to you, and
See how it's not registering in her brain here? That she's like already been caught, she's been had. It's not even registering. This is Tylenol brain, guys. And what are the other aspects of Tylenol brain? Soulless, no values, no morals, no moral compass, no inability to not even try to not. She's probably at the same intersection doing the same shit she's already busted for before. 3 days later, this is a part of the Tylenol brain.
the name and date of birth you gave me, and the same story you gave
This is probably like Dora the Explorer brain.
She belongs to the streets.
me is the same one you told the other deputies on the other side of Palm Coast Parkway by Belterre. Yes, it is. Stop lying. You're lying to yourself, you're lying to me, and you're lying in front of your kids.
See, this is pure Tylenol brain. You see how see how this female cop is having to tell her, "You're lying to me, you're lying to yourself, you're lying to your kids." This is exactly what Tylenol brain is like. You have to like demonstrate it in like 4 ways and do it about 5 times before they kind of will let it cave in a little bit. And when it caves in a little bit, there's no morality behind it. There's no conscience behind it. Russia, they call it Sovist. Okay, we have Sovist. Sovist means like I would never feel comfortable doing some shit like this. I wouldn't sleep at night. I would feel like shit. I'd rather would just have no money than do this shit. That doesn't exist to her. That's gone. That's 70% gone. This is not a peak performing individual. This woman is cooked. She should go back to picking crops or whatever the hell she's done to have this freaking big ass hand.
This is the kind of mom you want to be for your kids? Lying? Lying to people for money?
See, this is Tylenol brain. Just does not compute.
Really? Let's start over. Why are you collecting money? What do you need help with?
Mine is dead.
Get out of here. Get out of Palm Coast. Do not let me see you doing this again. Do not let me
This is fraud.
see you doing this to your kids again.
And that goes for whoever's down the block still too. The other people down the block. Is anybody else with you?
It's my.
Let me put it this way. Next time I see you out here with your 2 kids, I'm calling DCF.
Yeah.
And I will be sure that you're going to get every citation I can think of.
Yeah.
But this is not okay. You lying is not okay. You want your kids taken from you? Putting them in danger? Allowing them walking traffic, collecting money, lying to people?
Okay.
You need to start telling yourself the truth first. And stop lying to me, him, and everyone else.
I know you gave your.
See, this is Tylenol brain again. She's having to tell. This is what I'm talking about. See how you have to like tell them a concept that you shouldn't really need to tell them? Like, yeah, it's probably not a great idea to lie in front of your kids and like lie at the place you just got caught lying at. That's probably not great. You have to tell them so much shit that it makes you dumber. This woman is going to this female cop is going to walk away. God damn. I'm like retarded now because I had to deal with this. You have to like fragment your own thinking.
Names, but you have any IDs on you?
No.
Nothing. No passports, no identification cards.
Why are you lying?
Ooh, you know what that cop is gonna ask?
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. Do you have your passport?
It's my, I swear. It's my niece. I've only 19 years from April, May 20. It's my niece. I don't lie. I swear.
You told the other deputies the same thing in September.
Yes.
You wrote your name down. I looked it up, and it pulled up in September of this year.
No.
No, I don't want it to be true.
Dimitri is name common.
No, it's not. No, it's
I am
not.
Romanian.
Okay.
From Romania.
And in Flagler County, there's only one person that popped up, and that's you.
And my child.
Yep.
My son.
Yep. Yep. Wearing green vest with 2 juvenile males, holding a sign saying they're collecting money for a funeral. So again, do you want to keep lying?
I don't make this. It's first
You're
time
a
I
liar.
come
You're
here.
lying. You're lying.
Tylenol brain, just lock her up.
Stop lying. Yes. Your name and your date of birth. And I talked to him last time by Goodwill.
Goodwill.
Him.
Oh, Goodwill.
With you too. By Belterre. Yes.
I am for first time.
No, stop lying. Stop lying. I understand if you're going through a hard time, and I'd be more than happy to help you and give you resources to help you with whatever it is that you need to help get you by. Because I get it. It's been a hard year for a lot of people. Finances have been very hard. Not everyone can afford to get by. And I'll be more than happy to help you with that. But you won't stop lying. I can't help a liar. What is it that you need help with? How can I help you?
See, you can't help Tylenol brain. She does get arrested. Let's fast forward to that. And notice how they were just going to let her walk away? And she doesn't look Romanian to me. God damn, this might be Florida too, guys. Sorry about that.
He already went home?
Cypress Point, Florida, perhaps.
What about down there? Who's the girl that's down there? All right, I need you to stand up for me.
Let me focus on the charities a little bit more here. This guy's channel looks kind of cool. A show about the news. Let's see.
Charities. And I know what you're thinking. Shreyas, I know charity's tax deductible. That's why billionaires donate to their own foundation. But that's not even scratching the surface, and we can't find anyone else talking about what we're about to show you. See, over the last few years, the top charities receiving money in America aren't charities at all. They're donor-advised funds, or DAFs. 80% of the money that went to the top 10 charities
It's all going to be small hats taking your money. Nothing else is new.
America went to one of these, and they're operated by banks like Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or Goldman Sachs.
Oh, you don't say.
And finding out that the largest charities in America are actually multinational banks is like finding out GoFundMe partnered with DraftKings to go over under on grandma. So today, let's talk about charity and how our country's entire approach to taking care of people has become undermined. Because today, donating has kind of become like taking a piss in a public pool. Sure, you're making the world around you warmer, but it's really you who feels the best about it.
Coming up, why those poor kids in Africa are not getting the money you think they are. With special guests.
So here's another thing that they like to do too. So also too, at stores now, they're going to say, oh, do you want your pennies? Yeah, I want my pennies. Yeah, I'll take my change. Never donate, round up do any of these things at Lowe's or Home Depot or gas stations and shit like that, do not do it. Don't do it. It's not going to go to help anybody. Again, you can find your own ways to help people. Like, you know, if you want to, like, I like helping an animal shelter, but I'll bring them a bunch of kitty litter, or I'll bring them a bunch of cans of wet food. Do it that way. You get involved with, besides just giving some money. There's other things that you can do.
On in the gear with us. He kind of looks like the villain from The Incredibles. You'll see. Live from a random street corner in New York City, it's a show about the news.
Nice. This guy's channel looks pretty cool. I like what he's doing.
To get to the bottom of today's story, we have to talk about the worst thing our government has ever done. Taxes. See, in the United States, we offer tax deductions for donations that you make. It's honestly one of our better tax deductions. Unlike letting you write off your dog if it can protect your property, we all know Sparky and doing shit. Or, and this is true, letting bodybuilders write off body oil. Because nothing says serious tax policy like the IRS subsidizing a guy greasing himself up like a rotisserie chicken. The higher the tax bracket you're in, the more money you get off your taxes when you donate to charity. So a rich person donating $1,000 to charity might get $400 off their taxes, but a lower income person donating the same amount might only get $250 off their taxes. And this makes complete sense because that money's obviously worth more to a rich person, so we should subsidize it more when they heroically give it away. These tax deductions cost our government.
So also too, last weekend actually, well, someone who I work for a good amount, I think she has a good amount of wealth, but she's, you know, acts pretty normal. So like I was cutting some trees at her house and she said, do you want to have some like pancakes and stuff inside? So like we went in and she made like this awesome meal. And she was talking about charities and stuff like that. And she said charities make it such a pain in the ass to donate it. She's like, you got to fill out like 600 forms and all that. Anytime you fill out some type of tax form, charity form, contract, you can almost guarantee that it's a small hat clipping your coin somehow, some way, even if it's for charity.
70 to $80 billion in potential revenue lost every single year. But this makes sense because rich people are actually just better.
And again, these charities are not really going to help anyone. Like, we're still going to have the same amount of homelessness in the streets. We're still going to have all the same shit under the sun is basically going to stay the same.
At giving away their money. Like, remember at last year's Emmys when Nate Bargatze said he'd give $100,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of America, but would deduct $1,000 for every second the celebrities went above their allotted speaking time? What an easy way for celebrities to show they care about children.
What is it at?
Perfect. So what happens? The kids pay him. Staying true to that virtue, America's...
Yeah, they pay him in blood. Come on now. Oh my God.
wealthiest are giving their yearly donations to donor-advised funds, or DAFs, like we just talked about, which lets you get the tax write-off up front, but the money doesn't actually have to go to charity. But come on, some of it must be going to charity, right? I mean, Professor Reich, tell us.
It's 10%.
How much of the money that's sitting in DAF accounts is actually going to charity?
It would be nice to know the answer to that, but the holders of the funds don't have to report that information.
Yep. But it's usually around 10%.
So various.
They keep the 90, but they say, oh well, we needed this other money for conferences and flights and conference dinners and things like that. That's what they do.
They have to be telling somebody, right? Like the government?
Nobody. They don't have to report it to anybody.
Okay, but some of the money must be going to charity, right? They can't just not be giving any of it to charity.
The DAF, the Donor Advised Fund, is just a warehouse for the money to sit.
Right.
While the donor gets all the upfront benefit, the tax deduction, the bank that holds the Donor Advised Fund gets all the benefit of earning fees, and there's no requirement to make distributions from the fund, unlike, say, a private foundation. A private foundation by law
Right.
has to give 5% per year of its endowment.
Okay, wait. So you just said that the banks collect fees from the money in the accounts. What does that mean?
Remember, I want to emphasize here, from the standpoint of society, the point of the tax deductions is to create social benefits by giving to 501c3 organizations that are doing something rather than just holding money in an account. By putting money into a donorized fund, we create a perverse incentive because
it's an inversion. This is what I keep talking about. Charities are an inversion.
The holder, the investment firm that holds the donorized fund, is not incentivized to have you push the money out the door because they're earning fees.
So another thing that they do with the charities, like they're like, oh well, someone is the treasurer of the charity or something like that. Their job is just to write checks, but they'll make that like a full-time job all the time, and they write like 2 checks a month and make a big show of it.
From managing the money in the account. They would prefer that you add more and more to your donor advised fund because that will be good for their bottom line.
So they're literally financially incentivized for the money to not go to charity, and the donors still get a write-off anyway.
Correct.
That's awesome. See, according to our calculations, the largest charity in America, Fidelity Charitable, earned about $2.3 billion in revenue in 2025, and that is all money from tax-deductible donations. So in a weird twist of irony, this policy that was created to help the rich give to the poor is now being used for the rich to give to their wealth managers. Now, when someone puts money into a DAF, they can never get it back. It can only leave the account to go to a charity. And to be fair, Fidelity Charitable did give about $15 billion to legit charities in 2025, which we estimate.
But what is a legit charity? Where do you see the fruit that they bear? Usually don't.
To be about 4% of the total size of the fund. Either way, supporters of DAFs will tell you that they're really important because once you make a donation, it can grow in the account over time and you can make an even bigger donation later on. First of all, of course, they're going to tell you that because they charge even more fees for investing the money that's in your DAF. And second of all, we have to talk about what that money going to charity later actually looks like. Because only 14% of the donations in America go towards addressing basic human needs like health and food and shelter. It looks like.
Think about that, guys. This is pretty important right here. Human services organizations and educational institutions were retarded. The kids can't read. Each receive 14% of the total giving in 2024. So that's only 14%. And by the way, we shouldn't really need to give much. Like, we should have a government that functions properly.
Of the donations in America go towards addressing basic human needs like health and food and shelter. It looks like most of the money going towards shelter is actually going towards being sheltered from the IRS. 60% of tax-deductible donations above the size of $50 million go towards helping rich people put their name on the side of a college building. Look out.
Yep.
Our nation's charity system is all about empowering the individual. Let the people decide where the dollars should go rather than the government dictating every single penny. The problem with that, though, is that means that nonprofits need to compete for our attention. And to do that, many go through for-profit marketers. Of the 50 worst nonprofits in America, they raised about $1.4 billion over the course of a decade.
They're going to be like things like Red Cross, Salvation Army, things like that.
$1 billion of those dollars went towards paying the sales team. And at this point, the rich
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
saying they support charity is a lot like Pete Davidson saying he supports single mothers. It's not really support to the way you're doing it. And this is not to say that you should stop giving to charity because there are a...
Yes, you should. I'm telling you, you should stop. Have you guys ever, like, donated money to someone on the street that you think really needed it, and then you see them, like, later and they're fine and they didn't need it? You've been had. Just don't donate to these charities. Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't pay their bills.
Lot of great charities doing a lot of great work.
Salvation Army is also sketchy too. Fuck Salvation Army.
Stop giving to charity because there are a lot of great charities.
In fact, I hate these people.
Doing a lot of
these freaking bell ringers around Christmas time. Get out of here. How about we just have a little, like, weighted thing that rings a bell so you don't have to be there all day? The whole bell ringing thing is that you just get paid for just ringing a goddamn bell.
Great work that are really efficient and the money actually makes it to the people in need. But it does mean we need to re-examine.
And most of these charities and funds and stuff end up going to like hospitals. You know, Catholic hospitals, things like that.
What we consider charity in this country, because a large part of it has become a tax-optimized industry run by wealth managers and marketers, all subsidized to the tune of tens of billions of dollars in public money. And to tell us more about how this is part of a deeper systemic issue, we have Anand Girdadas to tell us about elite philanthropy and why it's not what we might think. All right, we just shit all over charity for like a few minutes, but what's your bone to pick with it?
Well, it is, I think, deceiving to people about what is fundamentally going on. When we really talk about philanthropy, what we're generally talking about is big philanthropy. So if Mark Zuckerberg decides that his heart is moved by something and wants to eradicate the world's diseases, he,
from a bunker,
immediately enters that space as someone who is altering priorities, who is making decisions about which diseases matter and which don't. Decisions in ways that are...
That's what Bill Gates does. But his idea of a charity is like, oh, we can test the vaccinations on brown people in Africa that don't have anything. And that's like some type of charity. We don't have any of the laws over there that need to protect the people. We can just inject shit into brown people and we get street credit. We get credit for it.
Problematic for democracy because they reflect their own priorities rather than public priorities.
To the people who say, why are we nitpicking how people are giving away their own money, which is making some difference. Some research getting funded to solve some kind of disease. What is the jump?
No, a lot of the research is just like cancer research. Like they probably actually have a cure for it. They just want to keep researching and shit. A lot of research is just kind of a lot of nonsense.
That we have to understand to then conclude that this is empowering them more than it's helping the people who might get cured and is also a threat to democracy.
Well, if you start at the moment in time you did, it's hard to make the case. If you start with, they have a bunch of money in the bank, why are you nitpicking giving it away? Well, it's a difficult argument, maybe. You got to go back to the making of the money. So you look at someone like Bill Gates. So Bill Gates, first of all, makes money through what was eventually deemed a monopoly at Microsoft. There were presumably hundreds.
Bill Gates kind of stole Microsoft a little bit, but we'll get into that another time.
Or thousands of people with an idea, lots of people with a dream, with a scheme, the way he once had,
right,
who wanted to develop their idea, and the monopoly suffocated each and every one of their dreams. Those are families that didn't end up thriving. Those are people who had to go back to some other country. You may not think about it. He didn't make his money painlessly. And I would say in the spectrum of people who give back, he's like really serious about the causes he cares about.
Yeah.
He's actually eradicated things and like.
Please.
But in the field of global public health, for example, and you could also say this about other areas he's worked in, he is not just some guy giving back. He's not walking down the street saying, let me just put some money into this pot. He has become and turned himself into a shaper and an architect of how public health works. It's not nitpicking to say, first of all, you have rigged the system to choose public policies that hurt lots of people and deprive lots of people of the opportunity to make a good life. Now you have extra money because of that institutionalized cruelty.
Got it.
And you're giving it away. And you're doing it in a way that actually, to go back to step one, makes it easier for you next time you want to lobby for a policy.
Yep. That's what I'm saying, guys. So he's talking about it on a much more grand scale, but oftentimes on a smaller scale, it's just so they can get social credit or they get, access to certain things or, they get free dinners for the charity. They get to stay in the hotel, things like that. That's most of what it is.
So I think we need to think about philanthropy as an exercise of power.
Are you anti-trillionaire?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even think we should have billionaires.
You don't think we should have billionaires?
But I'm a little bit like, I'm like a general fighting the last war because now we're about to have trillionaires and here goes on again, just talking about billionaires.
This is good because we actually have a special guest to give us the other side on billionaires. Can we welcome Finnegan, the finance bro?
So,
Finnegan, how you doing, man?
How's it going?
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just tell him what you were telling me.
How wealthy are you?
Well, I'm kind of like a self-made kind of guy. I mean, my dad's a billionaire, but I don't know. I'm like not really, I kind of made my own.
So Anand was just telling me that he actually doesn't believe billionaires like your father should exist.
Right.
That's kind of, surprising to me. Why don't you think that billionaires should exist?
Is he a good dad?
Yeah, man, he's a good dad. He's a good dad. He's like,
I can't deal with this anymore. We'll watch. We'll do a little bit, a couple more beats from Evletti, and I need to probably go to bed around midnight. I'm gonna actually just do a music interlude here. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Snowboard Joe. Whole town talking. Nobody knows the truth, but everybody got a story. Snowboard Joe rolling through the neighborhood slow. Got the ladies giggling everywhere we go. Nobody know why, nobody know how, but they all start whispering the second he around. He ain't say much, he just lean and grin. Then another rumor start circulating again. One girl laughing, two girls blushing, three more telling everybody something. They say Joe got tricks that nobody seen, moving so smooth like a backdoor king. Maybe it's true, maybe it's fake, but the legend getting bigger every coffee break. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. That's what the whole damn town asking for. Everybody talk, but nobody know how the story gets bigger everywhere we go. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Ladies keep laughing when he walks through the door. Truth don't matter once the rumor gets born. Joe's still smiling while the gossip rolls on. Now the fellas all jealous, say it ain't fair. Joe got attention without even trying there. Walking to the party and the room light up. Everybody watching while he fill his cup. One girl winking, another one stare. Somebody swear Joe got mysterious flair. Somebody's cousin got a friend who said Joe left. Everybody starts stuck in their head. Stories get wild when the weekend hits. Half of them facts and the other half myths. Joe don't argue, Joe don't defend. He let imagination do the work for him. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. That's what the whole damn town asking for. Everybody talk, but nobody know how the story gets bigger everywhere he goes. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Ladies keep laughing when he walks through the door. Truth don't matter once the rumor gets born. Joe still smiling while the gossip rolls on. Is it charm? Is it luck? Is it confidence? Nobody knows, but everybody discuss. Now the rumor's so big, it's a local event. Nobody remembers where the story went. Every month, somebody at another part. Like Joe got a doctorate in breaking hearts. But Joe just chilling, never saying a word. Watching all the theories get increasingly absurd. If half this gossip was actually true, the man would need a whole professional crew. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Whole town chanting when he steps on the floor. Nobody knows what he's really about, but everybody singing when the hook come out. Snowboard Joe sneaks in the back door. Legend gets bigger every year and more. Whether it's true or just neighborhood lore, Joe's still the champ of the backdoor war.
Look, I can understand taking out the source of your frustration. Or the person that, or the thing that you think is driving up, but to hurt innocent people, I just never saw the logic in that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
This is the newest update right here. And this guy looks like a freaking
Oh
vandal.
no.
Lifeless.
Oh no.
Let's just see.
I'm the Oakland County Sheriff. Excuse me, I'm kind of losing my
Excuse
voice.
me, I'm lying.
He's the
He's the bad guy at the beginning of the movie that got those women in the basement.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And this guy right here banged one of those women in the basement and got away with it. And this is the guy that the guy who we're saying that I was saying before. Look at this, this right here. That's this guy. I was saying from the beginning I didn't trust this guy. This guy, I just have a bad feeling about it. Let's go to make sure it's sharing this tab. So this just came out a few minutes ago. So let's see what they say.
Going on today. I kind of want to give the 20,000 foot level, and then we're going to have a number of speakers, both from the police department here, Chief Young, and from the FBI. Obviously, a horrific thing happened tragically here in Oakland County again. So we've been through a number of these things. And the one thing that I want to make sure the local community is aware of first and foremost.
No, you're being lied to. That's okay, sweetheart.
Do you believe that the communication you had with around 12:30, I don't have this would be worse than it could have been?
I think it certainly helps anytime that we're able to stay in contact and free flow of information.
But this is the real red pill, guys. Don't get it twisted. It's questioning. It's questioning how you're lied to. It's questioning, I mean, if you're being lied to. I'm not saying you're being lied to per se, but this is the real red pill. It's having the balls to be a man and go against the grain of what the common beta male programmed sheep slop football watching idiot perspective is, that gets told what opinion to have. We're over here performing our own opinion. I mean, conducting our own investigation as best we can. This is important. This is real red pill, I guess.
Yeah, these are so hard.
You're not popular doing this either. You're not going to be popular doing this.
To predict that anything like this.
And this stupid broad here was the one who was already interviewed before. She's just standing around.
What even happened?
If everybody's safe, what are you still doing here? Look at this.
You're free to
ugly.
leave.
Yeah, you should leave. If it's
highly
if
recommended.
it's a dangerous situation, why are you just hanging out there all day?
Because she wants to make sure. She wants to make sure she gets her full 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and her $200.
Yeah, her two. Yeah. She's contract. Yeah, see that. She's got to put that 8 hours in. You know what I mean? That's actually a full day.
OUNG.
And forgive me for the redundancy, but in a chronological sense, I heard obviously from the sheriff that drove a vehicle in, and what happened as far as a step-by-step.
Maybe they gave her a knish for lunch.
Well, at this point, we're not sharing.
Look at now they're hugging them. I'm telling you guys, this
Priceless actors.
This is I am telling you. The next video that I have queued up is one that I already kind of called out. Some of these people are legit. Like this girl here might be legit. So that's the thing where the deception comes in. Some of it is just legit people and stuff. But that's why they're see how this is in like the center of the shot almost. I'm telling you guys, a lot more is orchestrated than you might believe.
Those type of details affect integrity of investigation.
Chief, do you know about how many people were in the building? Like, I know it was like dozens and dozens, 100, 200.
What's Greta Thunberg doing here?
How dare you?
And this guy, I don't trust this chief. I don't like his body language. I didn't like him right away.
So all of those details again.
Bring your friends, your family. This is going to be an amazing day. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for West Palm Beach, and here we are.
It is here. Sean, thanks so much for coming on ISF. Best of luck this weekend. And we know it's going to be a big impact on the community and all those who attend.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is the one of the pitches of the next location that they'll do.
What have I stumbled into?
We all can be the hands and feet of God.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
my word.
What's this guy looking for a handout?
Oh, please. Please,
Trying to get a
snowboard.
leg up on the competition over there.
For if God can use a man without arms and legs to be his hands and feet, then God can use any willing.
Jesus, man.
This is like this is pure 80s, early 90s motivational speaker they used to bring into to high schools.
This guy?
You know, scared straight, you know.
Yeah.
I was a drug addict and I dove on a hand grenade and it cost me this and this, but it doesn't have to cost you. Are you gonna throw your life away on a hand grenade too? You know,
Gonna throw your life away at Life Surge.
Hot.
In your mind, in your heart.
Oh my God, guys! It's Tim Tebow. He's in the NFL. He's Jesus Christ to me. Oh my God.
To the Lord, God, I want to surge your.
He's already rich and wants more of your money, guys. You starting to see these scams here?
Way, not my way. So when it comes down to it, give me the strength, give me the focus, give me the mindset, give me the courage to choose you over me.
You can do what you do at your job. You got trained. You probably went to college. You know it so well. That
Duck
should leave
Dynasty
a
guy.
ton of time for you to go
He's the Duck Dynasty guy.
Yeah.
spread the word, spread the gospel, snatch people out of the fire.
Oh, I got lots to say about this.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. So what do you think? Have you seen Let's go to the chat here and make sure they're involved. Red Door put a 1. I think she thinks it's a scam too. Dr. Gonzo, let's give him a hand for getting up there.
That's terrible.
What do you call a guy with no arms and legs thrown in the ocean? Bob. Oh my God. Oh, I call him a maca.
Yeah, like this is mega church level stuff, but
well,
the irony is that it's not
mixing in finance too.
What
we can do if we pull our money together, we can work in God's favor. We can work for the hand of God.
For those who don't know, for those who don't know already, like so churches, at least in Protestant churches across the world, already like have extensive fundraising activities to raise money for missionaries to go places, to buy Bibles for countries where they're banned, or to do all this kind of thing. Like it's already like well developed, hundreds of years programs. You get into groups like Southern Baptists and stuff in the States, and it's like extremely well developed and honed. So to then this kind of approach here is more of a modern message to it, to try to make it like extract money into something that feels more meaningful than just, oh, well, so like if you putting my church hat on for 1 second, because I used to be involved in them, you know, it was like you're funding some missionary off in some foreign area land that you never met before. It doesn't feel really like valuable, or it doesn't feel real. But if you can have an emotional experience with thousands of others and waste money, like actually waste money, because they had to pay for this facility and pay for the lights and pay for the video and pay for the advertising, like a wasted money that doesn't benefit anyone, and then go and then get pressured into giving more money for other things that you're passionate about at the moment. It's just rebranding the whole experience, because a church decline's been really dramatic in many areas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's also, the question was, is this a mega church thing? Yeah, but it's also like more generalized experience, because where people are disconnected from each other for various reasons. And you know what? They can be like, oh, bring your family and friends and we're going to have this amazing time. It's like, actually go hang out with your family and friends. And that is itself an amazing time.
I think it's more of a a marketing, a pyramid scheme. I think it's more going to be for that. Let's see what these two guys have to say. But you're right, Omni. Yeah, that is definitely a factor.
So Kingdom Entrepreneurs.
Kingdom Entrepreneurs. They are your kings, guys.
We're raising our children, our 9 combined
certified.
kids, in the midst of a darkening culture. We are raising our families. We are loving our wives. We are building our businesses in the midst of a darkening culture where the devil is robbing, killing, and destroying. And he is targeting our children.
He didn't
Maybe
say
how you're
stealing.
robbing us.
He never. Yeah.
Children. And the Lord is saying, men and women of God in the marketplace, do not.
Just think of that. Just. Are you starting to see this, guys? When have you ever heard somebody say that? Men and women of God in the marketplace.
The Lord is saying, men and
if you're not in the marketplace, you're worthless to us. You go to hell.
women of God in the marketplace, do not shrink back in fear. Stand on my word. Do it my way. Stand and surge forward in
That's
faith.
not too bad.
In Jesus' name. Hallelujah. But this is what God is doing. The problem in America today is not the presence of darkness. The problem is the absence of light. Hearing the Lord
darn, I
whisper
missed
to me,
that.
Yeah.
who told
I
you
didn't
you
figure
weren't
that
the
out
light?
on my
No,
own. I
this-
needed
this-
you to
this
tell
is-
me.
This is
I
a big
needed-
deal. This is a big deal. I'm getting so goddamn sick of this. And I'm also making the new coining the new term on here, new age, new cage. New age is just you're still living in the same hellhole that we all are. But this stuff where they talk about light, the light, what is it? When you meditate, you get light. You receive enlightenment. What is it? It's just a blanket statement that they can say all this time. This really pisses me off. It's the thing that sells like crazy. Like
the darkness
Jesus.
versus the light.
Yeah.
We've never heard it before. Like, give me a break.
Ministry. You've been in ministry this whole time. Where you're placed and how you're paid doesn't determine whether or not you're a minister. It's about God's presence in your life and you walking powerfully that makes you a minister right where you are. God gave us 3 key.
See, I'm a minister.
So I paid to come to the conference, and you've told me that I minister where I am, so I shouldn't be somewhere else. And now you're telling me that it's about building relationships and being a good person according to these virtues. Why did I need to come and hear you tell me that? I've already been
Because
living
you
my
have to
life
pay
that
the
way.
money. That's why, to gain the experience.
Key points about our identities, and this is true about every one of you in this room. You're a minister right where you are. You're on mission to extend God's kingdom, and your work is worship. See, the same wind that extinguishes
We already knew
the
it.
candles.
Like,
These are probably
we
two
don't need
queers.
someone to
These
tell
are
us that.
probably 2 queers too. These are probably some demonic people as well.
It's like ignites the coals light, right? Jeremiah said, your word is like a fire, and it's shut up in my bones, and I am weary of holding it in. Do you know how God gets the light that's in you out into the world? Do you know how he does it? He brings you into situations and puts you around people who try to extinguish that light that's in you. And if you've been spending time in God's word, if you've been spending time in prayer and fasting,
Which makes no sense, by the way, but whatever.
alone with God, stoking that fire inside of you, then the very act of the culture trying to extinguish your light is the very thing that will ignite it. Billy Graham.
Does that make sense to you guys?
No, it sounded like some Kamala
Yeah.
Harris words
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, well,
that is retarded.
well, it's new packaging, same old story. It's
Yeah,
the devil
yeah.
behind every tree. So you have to be afraid that you're not doing the wrong thing, and you need to go to the expert to learn how to do it the right way. It's the
Yeah.
Pharisees all over again. You've heard these stories instead of actually like living an authentic. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I used that term before. It was cool. Authentic life in general, obeying precepts and virtues that are universally accepted as valuable and helpful. Instead of just living a virtuous life, you have to somehow achieve a heightened level
Well,
of
you gotta
awareness
pay-
and
you have to
combativeness.
pay for the virtue. That's what it is. You have to scam others,
Yes.
and then you pay for your virtue because you're a minister now. And a part of my pyramid scheme is you're a minister.
once said before he died, he believed the next great move of God would take place in the marketplace. Right. We believe that, and we believe that this event is
Wait,
a part
what?
of that.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This shit
Who
is
said that?
littered
Oh,
with
Billy
stuff.
Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I missed it.
Hey, you want to know what your ex is doing this Easter? An Easter egg cunt. Oh, I wonder what hole she hid it in. Got to find out. It's probably chocolate covered. I want to talk karma for a few minutes. I think karma is a myth. It sounds nice. Now, if karma did exist, why is there so much evil in this world? Why do people who scam and all this, they're doing just fine, guys. They're doing just fine. So karma is a little bit different from cause and effect. We have, some man-made laws. If I go shoot somebody, I'll probably go to jail if I get caught and everything. But that's not a function of karma. That's a man-made law. And there's a lot of people who can pay money so the laws don't apply to them and all that. And if karma is say, oh, well, it's in the next life or something, well, I can't remember my last life. So how is it relevant? How is it relevant at all? And if that was true, and you had to, go back and pay back your karma and all that, the planet would be a much better place because it would be elevating itself, not declining itself. So a lot of this spiritual woo-woo stuff about karma, I don't know if I really buy it. I think that's actually just meant to make people try to keep them in line a bit, which, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, the idea of karma is good, but, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I think it's a myth. I think it's a lie. Let me know what you think about this. Again, it's not applying to like laws, basically. That's man-made. Hey guys, what's up? It's the day after Easter. I'm here snowboarding. Probably one of my last days. And just wanted to say, like, are you really a Christian if you're doing this Easter Bunny garbage, this nonsense? If you are, eating this candy, doing an Easter egg hunt and all this stuff and don't pray or, do anything like that, it's like, well, what are you really doing then? The Orthodox Christianity, which would be the following Sunday, doesn't do that stuff. Did you give anything up for Lent? Did you fast or do anything? If not, then you're a fake Christian. And I'm not saying I'm a Christian. I'm not. Or I'm more Gnostic, I'd say. But, we got to ask ourselves, if you did want to be saved, are you really, like, in this or not? If not, then just don't do it. Because I'm sick of this evangelism, fake Christian bullshit that people do. And, if you didn't even pray yesterday and you just ate ham and all this bullshit, it's like, yeah, you're doing the celebration of it, but you don't have any humility of it. You don't have any of the humility of it. Why should you be saved? So just I'm going to keep doing a couple more of these chairlift thoughts today. Peace. Hey guys, what's up? Doing a little quick gondola talk here. Just another quick thought. Is materialism the god of the West? Because you think about it, the only way you can function off of the fiat currency is if materialism is your god. Because outside of resources, most things are just the worship of materialism. And that materialism is just a symbol of, therefore, status. Think about that for a little bit. We're in a trap here, guys. The fiat currency. Why do we even want gold? Why do we want gold? Hey guys, what's up? Doing some quick chairlift talk here. And I want people to think about really, I don't know, if you know someone works for the police or something like that, a family member or something like that, tell them to completely complain to their boss and everything and say, hey boss, why don't we prosecute real evil at the top? Next time you get a speeding ticket or something like that, say to the police officer, hey, you know, I really would rather see the resources spent to arresting PDF files or pedophiles and evil, corrupt people at the top. If we start there, then it's much easier to respect authority and restore order. If it's corrupt from the top down, you know, what's the point of anything? Let me know what you guys think. This topic is to stimulate conversation. It's not anti-authority or anything like that. So have a good day, guys. Stay safe. A lot of these mental health issues and drug use and all that is almost kind of like a form of demonic possession that just haunts you. And you need to understand kind of where it came from, why it's there, and then sort of basically get those trapped emotions and mental loops out of your body consciousness and your mind and kind of your soul and aura and everything. Like some of these problems are like a multi-layer type of issue. So it kind of works like this, sort of like you get something happens to you when you're a kid. I don't know, like spilt. So just stick with this example. You were asking a question in school and the teacher really just blasts you and humiliates you or something like that. So you start to feel ashamed and embarrassed and like you did something wrong for asking a question. So that makes your body kind of have like your first like panic attack. And then, you know, it ends up going away. But it kind of will stick with you. And we'll say this happened when you're, 8 years old in grade school. This is just stick with me here. So what happens is that kind of like stays in your body and in your nervous system. It's like a trapped emotion that you didn't deal with. And some of these things can be a little bullshit, but it's trapped in your body. And that kind of will be also in the back of your mind, in the unconscious or subconscious. It's kind of like emotion that's there, a feeling and an anxiety, like a fear-based thing. That fear-based thing will stick around with you. So you could be like 40 years old. You're like, God damn, like why am I messed up here? But that emotion in the body can then manifest itself into a nervous system issue, into you grind your teeth at night and you're like, why am I grinding my goddamn teeth at night? What's this about? What's all this tension about? What's all this dis-ease? I am not at ease. Let me type this here. Dis-ease. When I am not at ease, my body is not at what? Homeostasis or equilibrium. So when it's out of sync from itself, you start having problems because one system is running harder than it needs to, and then you have your kidneys that need to kick up more, to process more and whatnot, or your digestive system is not working right, so your stomach is creating too much extra acid. You're getting acid reflux and stuff like that because you some bitchy teacher yelled at you and you never really dealt with it because you didn't fully understand kind of this concept. So a lot of these things really, they're like trapped emotions in the body, and they can mess with your mental health. Doctors, big pharma and stuff, some psychologists maybe do want to help you, but they also want you to pay continually for the help. So we're not any of the treatments that we're doing, we're not like healing anything. We're treating the conditions, but we're I don't know, patching the dam, but we're not I don't know, draining the lake, I guess. I don't know. So that's part of the problem that we're having with men in. So I had a neighbor once when I lived in an apartment complex in Manchester, New Hampshire. Every day he would pump his car tire up with a little compressor thing with a cigarette lighter. And he would do this every day. And I was like, well, come on, man, like that is loud. It's kind of pissing me off. And it's like kind of getting retarded at this point. Like, we need you to go patch the tire or put tire slime in it or replace the tire or something, because this is getting to be like retarded. That's what therapy is a lot of the time. And what is it doing? It's inflating your ego. It's blowing hot air. It's what? Gassing you up, gaslighting you, inflating your ego, pumping you up, literally pumping you up. That's part of what it is. But if you always have a tire that has the nail in it with the slow leak, and you never remove the nail and patch it properly and do all the things so it holds air till the tire can finish the rest of its service life, then you're not really like fixing anything. And that's why people give up on this stuff. And then once they give up on it, they're like, well, hey, I did go to therapy. I actually did. Some people do try to give, hey, I went to therapy. They're like, hey, I went for 6 months. I was going all the time and I don't feel better. Now I actually feel worse because I feel cursed or something now because I went to all this therapy and I didn't get to, I'm not actually healed. And they're going to say, well, you just need even more therapy, but a different kind. This has happened to me kind of before. And that's kind of when I started to get more into this Gnosticism and stuff, because I started to see the system only will give you more systematic remedies within that sick system. And if you don't understand, if you don't really start to fundamentally understand that, it can be very frustrating. And it could be somebody who's putting in an honest effort and everything. So the first thing about mushrooms is, number one, mushrooms are why people do these, do things like microdose, and the tech guys are taking these mushrooms and stuff like that. It's because it can, with the right intention, it can change the paradigm on how you think. And it changes the paradigm on how you could think or view something, because parts of the brain that don't normally talk to each other can get to talk to each other. And that can be a very profound thing. Oftentimes, it's usually something bad coming up for somebody. They suppressed something their whole life and they didn't want to deal with it. So that ends up coming up, and it can, be very uncomfortable for them. But a lot of times that's why people are using these for a creative edge, because they're like, if I have other parts of my brain speaking to each other, or I can, look at things a different way or alter my state. So if I'm looking at if I'm looking at a problem and I've been, looking at it the past 50 days and I tried, 50 different things on it and I wasn't really getting anywhere, that there comes a point where you change the paradigm. You have to alter your state, alter the way you look at it. So instead of me looking at the problem, I don't know, I examined the problem 360 degrees around the problem, but now I can view the problem from above the entire problem, like a helicopter view or drone type view. That's what these can do. That's what they can offer. That's what I want you to think of it as.
Or taking psilocybin.
This is a tool. These are tools. These are perceptual tools.
In mice, for example, psilocybin may actually be creating entirely new connections. In people, psilocybin increases the strength of the connections responsible for how you sense the world, while also
sense the world, your perception,
decreasing the connections responsible for how we understand signals from our environment. And some scientists think this mix and match on how we sense and understand signals from our surroundings is what may cause an altered state of consciousness, one of the side effects of magic mushrooms.
I cut my finger splitting some wood, and it was actually bleeding pretty bad. Hey guys, what's up? This is snowboard98 here, and also sometimes a tree diddler. This is one of the ones for the health healing herbs and stuff, and mushrooms, I guess. So I'm at this beautiful property. I just hung out on the stream a little bit here, and I'm walking along this trail, and what do I see here? What's this? What's this? These are really cool. These are called reishi mushroom. Red reishi mushroom. They almost look like a fake plastic. These are going to get bigger. Show it to you and kind of do some AMSR here. I don't know if you can hear the stream or not. So these mushrooms will end up looking like this. These are old ones of it. Okay. And usually they'll have a white ring around like here. But these are old ones. And what this is a hemlock tree that is busted at the top. And these mushrooms are consuming it. Here's the other part of the tree. I don't know how long this tree has been here, or really what the deal is. The lady that owns the lady that owns the property said she really likes these being here. But like I said, these will all grow to about this size, but they'll almost be like a shiny, fake-looking plastic. It'll almost be like cartoonish looking, but I'll walk down and sit near the water so we can hear that and do a little AMSR type vibe going here. So reishi mushroom, or red reishi, is a really powerful mushroom. They call it sometimes the mushroom of immortality, the mushroom of spiritual enlightenment, the mushroom of abundance sometimes. A little waterfall we have going on here. And in fact, in ancient China, a lot of these come from China, and this folklore and whatnot comes from China. If you were a peasant and had this, you would go to jail. It was only meant for royalty. And it's still, to this day, is still kind of associated with royalty and things like that. And so what do you do with it? Well, you would take, I'm going to take I'll make a video of how to harvest it, but I want them to get a little bigger. See if the lady's okay with it. I think she will be. And I'll show, and you know, I'll give some to her as well. But why is it's good? It's good because it's called an adaptogenic mushroom. So that means if your body's running too cold, it'll warm it up. If it's running too hot, it'll cool it down. But it's also a very calming anti-anxiety mushroom. It's not a psychedelic mushroom. You do not have a trip from it, but it does help keep your mood on an even keel, and you feel really relaxed. Okay, I'll just film this waterfall a little bit and walk up to it, which is good. So it does that, but it's also, like a lot of other mushrooms, very anti-cancer, very anti-inflammatory. They feed the immune system. Okay, mushrooms are feeding the immune system with long chains sugars called polysaccharides. And they're loaded with polysaccharides, big time, big time. That's like one of the #1 reasons why people take this stuff. So what you do with it is you will take it off, and I'll make another video about it, but you basically consume it as a tea. You can consume it as a tea many times a day if you want. It tastes very bitter. Now, bitter is good. In the West or other places, we want things like, oh, this has to taste like candy and ice cream and sugar. No. The human body has more receptors for bitter than sweet by quite a bit. And we use bitters. We want to detect bitters because bitters are its own class of herbs, first of all. Its own like classification. But bitters are what help our body digest. They're more medicinal. They more break things down. They help us. That's why medicines usually taste what? Bitter. That's why people say, oh, you need a spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down. Why? Because it's bitter. Sugar takes out the acidic taste of things. That's why people put it in coffee and whatnot. Why? Because the coffee on its own tastes bitter. Liquor and certain things on their own taste bitter. That's why you add sugars and things to them as the mixer and whatnot. So that being said, it's a very powerful mushroom for preventing mental health issues, because you just feel calm, you feel good, you feel more abundant, and that's a good thing. You feel peaceful. That's why they call it a mushroom of spiritual enlightenment and abundance, because you start to feel more that way if you're taking it a lot. Again, you're not tripping. It's not Alice in Wonderland mushroom. So I'm just gonna let this play too. So another thing with reishi mushroom, it's used in a lot of other things as well. Japanese scientists have used the mycelium of reishi mushrooms to... I cut my finger. All right, guys, what's up? Want to do a little video on this tractor here. It's a really awesome tractor, and talk about it a little bit. It's called the Coyote DK40 SE. It means like special edition. It's a 41 horsepower machine. grapple on the front. It's called like a root grapple. I call it Marvin, from Marvin Heemeyer. Do a quick walk around here. You can take a 6 foot long wide bucket. And I think the loader is like a bigger, longer loader, because the loader is freaking long on this thing. It was owned by an engineer before me that I did some logging work for. And I was really just impressed with the machine a lot. So last year, before they did any like major emissions bullshit, things like that, it's a really powerful machine. I used to have a weight box on the back of it, but now I have this like trailer hitch thing, which is usually down lower, but I kept it up high to load and unload it. Really awesome machine. Just did all the fluids on it and everything. The front axle alone takes 2 gallons of hydraulic fluid. The main system itself takes 11 gallons of hydraulic fluid. 2 gallons of engine oil, motor oil. I mean, this grapple thing is a beast. When I had the weight box on, there was almost like nothing you could lift with it. I took the weight box off. It makes it 400 pounds lighter. It's easier to transport. When you're driving on someone's nice, this is not my house, when you're driving on someone's nice lawn like this, you don't want it to sink down crazy. So I can't lift as aggressive of pieces anymore, but I've still kind of made do with it. I did add the mirrors. It didn't come with mirrors. I don't know why in the hell tractors don't all come with mirrors stock. They're like, none of them do. So a really, really awesome machine. And I just thought it looked kind of cool in the sunlight. I like tractors. Coyote's remember, this is a Coyote. This is not Kubota. It's a different thing. So I think it weighs 4,200 pounds or so. It's like 41.5 horsepower. It's hydrostatic. So these are brakes here. You can do one brake at a time if you want to. You got turn signals. These are the gears, medium, low, high. This is how you run the bucket. This is the third function valve, which does the grapple. Just a really killer machine. I'll have this thing like forever. You like can't break this thing. So looks like some people are cutting the grass here. I did some tree takedowns here. I did sort of ding this rock. These were
Now give a good pull on it. Go ahead. Really rip on it. Yep, keep going. Perfect. Stay right there. I'll drop the rest of this. It's amazing how this damn thing is still standing.
Yeah, I was worried about the wrong thing.
Yeah. Let me knock it down before you walk over, just in case. Because if we hit it with that, it might have spun around and got bigger.
7 rules of life. Number 1, let it go. Never ruin a good day by thinking about a bad yesterday. Number 2, ignore them. Don't listen to other people. Live a life that's empowering to you. Number 3, give it time. Time heals everything. Number 4, don't compare. The only person you should try to be is the person you were yesterday. Number 5, stay calm. It's okay not to have everything figured out. Know that in time, you'll get there. Number 6, it's on you. Only you are in charge of your happiness. Number 7, smile. Life is short. Enjoy it while you can. Seven rules of life. Number 1, let it go. Never ruin a good day by thinking about a bad yesterday.
Here we go.
take a look at this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. See this? See that? See, it would have landed on there to protect this. I'll walk on it like this. Go up here. Oh. Perfect. This thing barely even actually hit the driveway. And if it did, it'd be fine. That's perfect. Didn't want to hit that too. So I might even do a few more on top of this. But that went beautifully. Let's take a ended up having to just do a removal on this because that will fall on the shed. Yeah, here's a good spot. Take care of that. Watch out for this thing. Maybe go around it like this. There you go.
If I'm ever in an accident, I'm a quadriplegic, because I'm not gonna try and be some inspirational story. Hold the pillow over my face until I'm gone, guys. I'm not dealing with this mess.
Yeah,
I'm not. And people can call me messed up that they want. People go, oh well. Now this guy's what? You guys see the guy who is getting married and then his stupid wife was at her bachelorette party? Hold on.
Well, there's another one of those ancient Chinese sayings that says, "It is better to be a pillow eater than a pillow biter."
then your soul will be light as a feather.
I'm done with you.
I have a lot of ancient wisdom.
His assistant married his first cousin. He's like, how do you put up with the risk of like, you know, that your child like a third of the time could be, you know, like retarded? And he's like, well, if that ever happened, I'd drive it to the country and open up the door and say, you're free now.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Like the Spartans used to do.
Yeah. Go off the cliff. You know? It's messed up to say, but guys, look. I told you guys, one of my best friends.
Almost like you guys want to tard and feather them. Oh!
A woman, but there are just some chicks that are emotionally repressed. They have daddy issues and trauma. So getting them to like let go, and the stars have to align. Getting them to like let go enough to actually get aroused is like friggin' solving that friggin' tunnel on the last crusade. You guys remember how Indiana Jones, he was stepping on the blocks?
Yeah.
In the damn cave in the Crusades. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Guys, no. And
There's
also,
an old Native American saying, it says, if she don't hawk to her, I don't talk to her.
To a lot of women, logistics don't exist. Shit just like appears out of nowhere.
I'm shocked you didn't go like, why are you mansplaining me?
Yeah.
But in regards to this photo, in regards to this image right here, you know, they want to try to show or at least demonstrate, you know, each one teach one. But all I see is the blind leading the blind.
Yeah. If they were lesbians, I made this joke up the other day, Seagrip. You're gonna like this. I was like, in the Scissorhood, iron dulls iron.
I was on that live when you said that.
I think I heard that one on AJ's
iron dulls iron. Yeah.
You're a monster, dude.
Iron. Going that way.
perfect. Right where I wanted it. Minimal damage, anything else. I didn't really want to hit that tree. Again, we're not doing this for like lumber. See if we can knock this guy kind of down to the same spot. Nope. See, I'm fucking up because I'm recording myself. I can still deal with this one by going like this. Just kind of bucking up this log here. He wants to. All right, what's up? We're doing a couple trees that are on the kind of Hey, what's up? Snowboard Joe here, the tree diddler. I had a call from a customer about
Fuck it, that works. I needed a step ladder thing. I cut the face notch all fucked up because that's high up and I should have used a longer chainsaw bar. But that's okay. What's that? No. Yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, happy Easter. Just did a difficult tree. You can probably see all the sawdust on me, but this is the Lake Wentworth here. I'm just down the road from the house. Yeah, all the ice went out almost like overnight. But these people are coming back tomorrow. And I was able to kind of drop a tree in this road, and then there's another road up there. I was able to kind of just cone the road off and drop it because I didn't think anyone would be around here today. So I got Alex cutting this one up. See this power line? And one more at the top of the hill, which I was just able to toss all the wood, the brush and stuff in the woods to make it disappear. So we have some more cutting to do in here. Just like there's some leaned over trees and miscellaneous stuff, but that was a date. If I mess that tree up, that's like $1 million mistake. But we got it done, and we only started at lunch. We'll get like 1,100 today, which will be good. So I just wanted to do the job before they came home. They would be watching me. They would be driving up and down this road and shit like that, and maybe, I don't know, add more, change their minds. So now I'm not giving them a choice. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Hey guys, what's up? Tree Diddler here. So I'm gonna use the name of instead of Snowboard Joe, because I do snowboard a lot, but I don't film much of it or really even talk about it much. And in fact, I actually ski like half the time too. So anyways, I'm gonna go by Tree Diddler. So today I want to show these planter boxes that we made. This one's kind of cool here. It's almost like it's got eyes on the front of it. Pressure treated wood, 4x4 in there, which is nice. This is heavy duty stuff. She wanted to order some from like Wayfair, and I kind of told her a lot of that stuff is junk. So what we're gonna do today is just kind of go through and chip a bunch of, you know, just old laying down stuff and just kind of, quote, clean the woods. This is the best I could get the chipper back up to. This is all chips here. I almost kind of got it stuck. So we've got a lot of rain recently, and it is still spring, so stuff is still kind of wet. So all these will probably be moved somewhere over here. I might be able to just move this trailer out of my way and back in more over here, but I think that will be okay. I really wanted it back where I'm standing now, but that is what it is. So it's a little bit of a before. I don't know how crazy she wants me to go on it, but this is pretty easy work. Talking about Disney brain, and about how people are kind of follows a little bit with Tylenol brain and stuff. But I know that Disney was trying to make these communities for people, which is kind of like a HOA, but it's like Disney characters everywhere and stuff. So I want to investigate this a little bit.
You've heard of Disneyland, you've heard of Disney World, but have you heard of Disney Town?
And this guy, just to give him credit, is Moon. He does a great job. Fair use. I'm going to be commenting on it a lot. And they're calling it the real life Truman Show. Put a one in the chat if you guys have seen the movie The Truman Show.